like a country music singer. I tell you that right now. He's got the perfect name for it, and I've always told him that ever since I met him. But he's saying there's going to be shortages on animal feed. So you farmers, you preppers, you homesteaders, it's going to be shortages on animal feed because you can't get bags and you can't get materials to make the feeds. So what have you been up to? um, you gonna join on Facebook here in a minute? Are you gonna join in through Facebook here in a minute? Okay. What do you think about it? Let's get an honest opinion for the people that are watching, which says nobody right now. No, what now? What? Oh, well, okay. The Russian situation. From what I'm seeing, Putin don't really care nothing about. He's not threatened by NATO. He's not scared of NATO. So there's several different ways to come at this. Hey, good to see you in here, Fede Aquila. He don't really care what NATO says. So NATO is trying to do embargoes, trying to do sanctions, and he really don't care. And he's got hundreds of thousands of troops mobilized. They have tanks, they have equipment, they have attack helicopters, getting in line. They got forward operating bases. They have emergency bases. Let me turn you on speakerphone. That way everybody gets you in here. You'll be just a big part of the show. All right, so if you're just joining in, we got my friend Walker Staggs. He's coming through my phone. I hadn't started on TikTok yet. So he's wanting to know about Russia, so we'll tell everybody. So can you hear us pretty good, Walker?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So Walker is basically wanting to know about Russia, and I just told him you can go back and look at the recap. So also, then there's the people that are saying this is just a distraction to get our minds off of what the government here in America is trying to do to the people. So there's that too. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it is a distraction, but I don't think it's a distraction that people think it is, or the purpose that it's meant for. I think Putin wants to go to war, and he's going to use Joe Biden as an excuse to do it.
Okay, and there's been that too. Have you seen the commercials where Germany and China have been taking up donations to help feed the hungry children in America?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so a lot of us
more about our kids than our government does.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of people are thinking that that's going to be their justification for coming and taking and invading America because
Possibility they may consider themselves in a position like DHR does here. You know, if you don't take care of your kid, DHR is going to come in and take them from you.
and that's God's honest truth.
The president we've got now is the worst parent in this country we've ever had.
All right, and I try to keep it not too political. We do world news mainly. Try not to get too political because I'll get bananaed, as my friend Prepper Nation calls it on TikTok. They banana him all the time. He's had 4 different names. I don't never recognize him when he comes into the chat because he's done got an account banana. So that's always something insane that we have to deal with on here, being preppers. So, but I do try to focus on the news, and what you're bringing us about the feed situation is a big situation because the feed situation that the homesteaders and the preppers, a lot of us are still relying on that. I can say I am. I got ways of feeding my animals with rolling cages, hay. There's people I can talk to that can probably get me the materials or some form of feed. But I'm looking into Mealworm Farms, making a mealworm farm again. Do you remember when I done the mealworm farm?
I do, and we actually carry mealworms where I work.
Like live mealworms?
No, dried.
Okay. So yeah, I'm looking at getting my own, and then I can just throw them in a dehydrator. I don't know how you would do that because I don't know how they do it. I don't know how I dehydrate them.
That's actually a pretty profitable business.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
So you're telling me if I start going and doing mealworm farming, I can start making pretty good money.
Oh yeah, feed stores everywhere carry dehydrated mealworms. They sell them by the half pound or the pound.
So would you be able to work out some kind of business deal if I get into this big time?
I can give you the names of people that you can talk to.
Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. We got 17 people on Clapper, and we still got one through the apps, which is going out to 3 or 4 apps. So I'm fixing to probably have to get big into the live stream. Do you want to come in there on Clapper? Because right now I don't know how to do it on apps.
Well, I'm actually about to be at a customer, so I'm probably going to lose you here in a few minutes.
All right, bud. Well, hey, good luck on that. We'll be praying for you, man.
All right, y'all too. Bye.
You too. Bye, love you. Yep. There we go. So if you're just coming in on Clapper, Lord K, good to see you. We were on the phone with my friend Walker Staggs. He works for the feed companies. He's a truck driver. Hulk Smash, good to see you. He works for the feed companies, and they haul a lot of feed around this whole area. There's a huge feed mill in Guntersville, Alabama, and that's one of the places that he hauls for, I believe. And he goes into feed stores everywhere, all over the country. And he is explaining to us that feed is getting, there's a shortage of animal feed. And I can attest to the price going up. Like it goes up almost $1 a week, 50 cents to $1 a week, it seems, where I'm at. And that's at the place where I buy it, where it's cheaper than Tractor Supply. So if you follow Blake Wright on Clapper or Instagram, you can probably see a little bit of what he's had to deal with trying to get ready to grow hay. So then you gotta look at the hay situation. I can get hay put up for a couple years, but then there's the seeds. Dawn Renfro, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So I'm going to have to start looking into a lot of things. I'm really thinking about the mealworms because in about every country you can find some form of grain or bran, and that's a lot of what you put the mealworms in to get them to keep them growing. They come in small, they grow big, then they turn in. See, mealworms are not really worms; they're larvae. So then they begin to turn into I guess the beetle phase, and then they'll lay eggs, and there's a whole sifting process in it. And you basically restock yourself with eggs and milk and the larva to grow. Man, get that back itching right there in that spot. And it's a wild thing when you think about how dependent we are on this food web. My grandparents grew a lot of their feed. Many people, I've got a friend, and they still grow a lot of their feed. There's a lot of things that we have to take into account with that when it comes to raising chickens and cattle and goats and whatnot. Now, goats can, my brother raises the cattle in the family. He's kind of took up the torch from my grandfather and uncles. They laid it down a while back and got out of cattle farming, and now my brother's took it back up, get the family back in it. And so he's probably better set up to do this, and he's got friends and different farmers he can talk to, but at the same time they've got to have seed. So there's the struggle with the farmers to get seeds. Hey, Birdman's a farmer. He can probably give us a good idea of that. Birdman, can you kind of just give us an idea in the comments about any struggles you may be having with your farm right now as far as shortages? Are you having any struggles with shortages, getting seed, fertilizer, anything of that nature? Because I think I've seen a little bit where Blake's been dealing with higher prices than normal. One blessed love. Good to see you in here. Fertilizer. So, Birdman, I'm going to be going live on TikTok here in a few minutes. If you're interested, man, I'd love to have you come in and just give us a good perspective of the farming situation and give us a good perspective of the fertilizer prices, how much they went up, and just kind of have that conversation on TikTok because that ends up being one of our main pulls is having people in. And so Eric Leith, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for the likes. I'm fixing to go live on TikTok. I try to give this little behind the scenes look for those that have joined us on YouTube. Now, there won't be a replay here on Clapper. They don't do that. They don't have a replay button like TikTok. Plus, you can't go back and look at it. But YouTube is going to be our recap. Facebook is where our recap is going to be. If you come and follow on Instagram, I can share the links to you, or you can go to the Edge 29 Chaos Preparedness website, edge29chaos.com. You can go to our website and you can subscribe to the YouTube lives. We go live on several different platforms at once. That's why I call it the multicast. This is a Chaos Cast multicast. And I kind of just wanted to have my breakfast with those that are here on Clapper, because that is what y'all are used to with me, live from Alabama when I was doing that heavily, when I was able to do it every day. Which now work schedule has changed 3 times in the last 2 months because of markets and products not coming in that we need. Real Matt Thompson, it's good to see you. But the boys went and mooched off Mama last night. We sent them down just to borrow some A1 sauce. They come back with cake. So that will be my breakfast this morning. That will be kind of what I shouldn't be eating, but I am. But sometimes I just eat the frosted stuff. And that right there had a weird taste to it, I'll tell you that right now. I don't know what kind that was. Ayana Jefferson, good to see you in here. This is red velvet. We're going to see what happens here. That was as to be expected. It was good. Daniel Hartley, good to see you. As you're coming in, I'm having my breakfast real quick, so I'm doing the exclusive content I try to do on my lives with Clapper and through the Haps app. And so you get to see me have my breakfast, and then we'll go live on TikTok, and we'll really start to crank up the Chaos Cast. We're going to talk about current news. We're going to talk about current events. We're going to talk about different things that are going on around in the country that would compel a person to be more prepared, And I'm not talking about just straight up nut job doomsday prepping. We're talking about, you can barely see them back here, these ReadyWise products back here we got. Just have a bucket of food, something to keep the family going for a couple weeks. That right there can feed a family for a good while. That's a pretty good meal per packet. And Blessed Dragon Soul, good to see you. I'd almost think that was a Kevin May fake account or ghost account coming in to see what I'm up to. But because he at one time was the mythological dragon. When he came back after the first time he cut out. Oswaldo DG, good to see you in here. So I'm kind of trying to hurry along. I just want to eat this cake and get going. But some of the things that we've been working around here on the homestead front, we're actually training. Let's see if we can show you. We're training Mr. We got our buddy over here. This is Mr. Shotgun. He is a white lab. That is the kid's dog, but I'm the one that has to get up in the middle of the night to take him out. But he's training very well. He's going pee-pee outside, and we're proud of him. He's a smart little puppy, and he's sleeping right now. He don't like being in the cage. He'll get to barking, so I had to put that vibrating collar on him because he'll get to just barking because he's like, he knows we'll come get him and take him outside. And so that become a thing, so I had to mitigate that. Conservative back, and good to see you, bud. Trying to have breakfast right now before I start the main cast on TikTok, and hopefully this will be a good one. I guess this is kind of boring. I don't know. We got Birdman in here, or he might have went to TikTok already. But excuse me. So how did everybody do on Valentine's Day? Did everybody have a good Valentine's Day? That's bad with exclusive content on Clapper and YouTube and House is that you're eating cake. I forgot. They necking. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. There. Oh my Lord. I hate dealing with teeth there, buddy. So conservative Viking was doing great, but he yanked a giant filling out of a molar. I've done that jump before. So we're gonna go live on TikTok. So TikTok has updated their community guidelines again once more. So we're gonna throw shortages up here. It's sure to attract some trolls on TikTok. And what amazes me is that you're lying, you're full of crap, that ain't true. And it's just people that do not want to see the truth. We got about 6,000 active there. Who knows how many will come in? I don't think all 6,000, but it'd be great if they did. So we'll send this out and try and get some of our buddies from TikTok and hear some of the other preppers, some of the prep talk crew that we have on TikTok. They called it prep talk. I did not. So I just went along with it. But we got a lot of folks in here that are really knowledgeable preppers, and we are trying to get them in here, bring knowledge around to folks, trying to get folks going, thinking more about being self-reliant. That's been my main goal with this, is to help people become more self-reliant, because in all honesty, we depend too much on our government. We depend too much on the system. The thing you've got to realize mainly is that when that collapses, what will we do? How you doing, Florida Southern? That's old Belinda. Good to see you, girl. Good to see you. Man, you changed that name, and I about don't recognize you till I can see that emoji. That's my friend Belinda. We got a whole crew in here. The Prepared Man. Baby Meadows. We'll send old Birdman a hit on TikTok. Maybe he'll be able to come up. Sassy Sasquatch Girl. She comes in and comments a lot on the videos. Let's see here. Get some more in here. Party's Pork Ranch and Rescue. There we go. We'll send that out. We got 9 people in here already. Farrell Bob, good to see you in here. So we're starting the Chaos Cast today. We've started it on Clapper and on Haps, so you can go back and watch the recap. We have my friend Walker Staggs come in on a speaker call through the phone you're watching through right now. Big Mike, good to see you coming in. And he was just basically telling us about the feed shortage. So this is a guy that he works for the feed companies here locally. He drives a truck delivering all around the country. And he was basically explaining that they're having a hard time getting bags. And they're also having a hard time getting the materials to make the feed, to feed animals. Spears Outdoors. Good to have you. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. I ate that cake too fast. Good to have you in here, Spears Outdoors. So, we've been talking about food shortages, but what people don't realize, this is a snowballing effect. As it begins to go, as it begins to roll, the problems begin to mount, because the system was highly intricate and highly delicate. It could take a little bit of a beating, but what we put it through shutting down the country basically has caused a lot. I'm not sure the Euro shortage. I'm talking about feed shortages right now. They're having problems right now, and this is one of the local feed mills in Alabama by Gunnersville, Lake Gunnersville. My friend Walker Staggs, he drives for that truck company. And I asked him, I said, what can you tell us that would give us a better understanding of shortages? So he, yeah, the fertilizer shortage. Now, we did talk to our friend Birdman on Clapper before we come on here. He owns, I think, a 2,400-acre farm in Mississippi. And he was talking about fertilizer prices being through the roof. Now, a lot of that has to do with the fact, hey Danny, we're going to buy Danny in, get her on. There we go. But Birdman was telling me that that fertilizer prices are through the roof. Um, he he run now. This is a guy that he has a big farm. When he drives into town, all right, girl, we'll give you a few minutes. Birdman may come in here in a minute. So when he says fertilizer prices are going through the roof, he's telling you your prices of your food's going up, and a lot of that has to do with the issues with Russia that are cutting off the flow of. They're cutting off the flow of the ammonium nitrate. They supply, I think that it's been said, 80% of the ammonium nitrate. So to understand where your food comes from, that food you get in the grocery store is raised in large scale meat farms, basically. You have chicken houses. I have a friend that owns 10 chicken houses. They go through feed, they go through a lot. They have a process set up they call these grow outs, and they raise these chickens within a 6 week period. So that's part of what you're looking at. So then when you're dealing with cattle, they're being fed certain. They're like my brother raises cattle, so they sell those cattle to to the stockyards, and the stockyards take them to big livestock where they feed them out and they fatten them up. So you're paying. Yeah, it is time to learn how to grow organic, but the problem is so exacerbated. You're going to have to learn really quick and on the fly. And a lot of times with gardening, it takes a lot to really learn. You got to have that. You got to either develop a green thumb or you got to just have a natural green thumb. But trust me, I've tested a number of different gardening methods in my garden, and there's a lot of different things. So you got to think if you are working, you got to have a garden that's low maintenance. And I've tested out the mulch method, the lazy garden method. I've tested out 70 million pounds of nitrogen above each acre. And so, all right, so elaborate on that for me. So what we're dealing with here with the I lost my train of thought. So what you're looking at here, if you're going to grow a home garden, you've got to look at where are you going to get your fertilizer. Do you understand where to get organic fertilizer? Do you understand what organic fertilizer is? Do you have a source of nitrogen, a source of potassium? Do you have a good source of carbon? Is your soil sandy? Buzzard Life, good to see you in here. Nowhere Ranch, good to see you in here. Weary Traveler, good to see you in here. Thank you for coming in. Okie Dokie One, thank you for coming in. So we're Canaan 0418, thank you for coming in. We're talking about feed shortages. Manimal, good to see you coming in. So the whole thing with organic farming is we have got a system based on synthetic fertilizers made with ammonium nitrate. Hey George, it's good to see you in here. Justin 1290. Farva, good to see you in here. Roberto Shea 5, good to see you in here. So to completely switch over out of nowhere is going to be extremely hard. People will do it. Nowhere Ranch is bringing out about soil regeneration, and they are exactly right about that. Hartwild, thanks for coming in. Currently, I have pretty decent soil. I'm actually, I would say that I've planted on the top of the ground that was the old outhouse from back in the day, like way back in the day. Now I'm from Alabama, Two Girls Cup. I'm not from Kentucky. I'm from Alabama. I'm from Bammer. Um, You don't need any fertilizer when the ground is full of earthworms. Yeah, you got to have nitrogen. So if the earthworms are putting enough nitrogen out, that is true. But what you're going to have to realize, you're going to have to replenish that soil one way or another because you're going to overtax what the earthworms can do. And you got to know how to attract earthworms to your garden. You've got to obtain earthworms. So then there's a whole source. I'm not trying to argue with you, Brian Wagg, but there's a lot of people that have pieces of knowledge. Now, Conservative Viking King, he says we use manure for fertilizer, no chemical or otherwise traditional fertilizer. So that's good. Conservative Vikings on Clapper, and he's talking about how they do their farming. They use manure, and manure is going to be a lot of how you regenerate the soil. If you follow Joel Salatin, all right. So Nowhere Ranch says you're right. So Nowhere Ranch, elaborate on what's going on. Alfalfa is the key. So planting, so hayseed basically, because that right now is hard to find, or it's not hard to find. It's through the roof. So y'all two know more about this situation with earthworms than I do. So elaborate for me. I'm going to bring Nowhere Ranch up because Nowhere Ranch has got a better understanding of this than I do. Wait a minute. So the invite's been sent, Nowhere Ranch. Come on up, and y'all can explain this to us. But the main thing, unavailable go live. Brian Wagg, we're going to bring you up so you can elaborate. Apparently, I don't understand enough about what I'm talking about. Your view's a little different than mine. The cover crops I've heard about the cover crops. So you're saying the cover crops, all right? You got Danny coming in. What are you doing?
Hey, I just got back 2 seconds ago and I lost it. I have no idea where it went.
So we got 61 people here, 33 on Clapper, and 1 on House. There may be more. It don't always read right. So
big numbers today.
So we got Nowhere Ranch and Brian Wagg, and they're talking about growing alfalfa to attract earthworms to help fertilize your soil and regenerate your soil.
That sounds good.
So do you have a good idea of what they're talking about?
Anytime that you are helping to facilitate the mycorrhizal fungi and all of the things that are actively alive in the dirt, it's a good day. It's a good day. So I don't know about the alfalfa, but if they think that it attracts earthworms, I would say go for it.
So
I don't know that myself, but I'm sure they've done some research.
Well, now Nowhere Ranch seems to be fairly knowledgeable, and I didn't realize what I was talking about, so I'm being honest about it. Brian Wagg brought up the thing about earthworms, and they're elaborating on it. All plants bring something different to the soil, and that is some
Absolutely.
Prepped and Prepared. Good to have you in here. Y'all go follow Prepped and Prepared if you're wanting to learn how to do canning. Liz Ventures, good to see you in here. She'll teach you about scuba diving.
Hey, Liz.
Alfalfa roots. Okay, alfalfa roots grow 17 foot, bring up leached minerals to the tops. Okay, so that's good. So grass is
That's good for me to learn. Thanks.
Sometimes you need to plant one thing one year and another the next. So the crop rotation, I do understand that. I'm going to plant beans this year. I'm just planting a lot of beans in there, and I'm going to see what happens.
Yeah, beans help fix the soil, for sure.
But we were talking, before I went live on here, I went live on Clapper and Haps, and I was talking on speaker on this phone to my friend, Walker Staggs. And he drives for a feed company, and there's a huge feed mill down near Gunnersville, and I believe that's the one he works for, and they haul feed all over the country. And I asked him, I said, you're a trucker. I said, what are some of the shortages you're seeing? He said, well, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be shortages with feed, he said, because we can't get any bags and we can't get the components to make the feed. And the
wheat crops got hit so bad in the past 2 years.
So what happened to the wheat crops?
So I think it was like Ohio. They had a land hurricane that wiped out like tons of the wheat crop. So we were already like the food supply, like everybody was already kind of bracing for that issue. But then now we have like China and everybody's like closing their borders and closing their exports. So we are going to have a huge grain issue.
Well, China has apparently they were set and they probably have met that goal for having like 65%, 60 or 65% of the world's grain specifically stocked in their country. Monocropping is the worst. Yeah, single crops are not good for the soil. Drought, flood, and blizzards has wiped out tons of wheat, corn, and coffee worldwide. Yeah, there's going to be a coffee shortage. So what were you about to say?
That too. And they're going to stop exporting avocados, so we're not going to have avocados now. Like, there are so many different issues that are going on. Plus, this
Not the
avian
avocados.
H1N1 bird flu.
I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot of trendies that's going to be suffering because they can't have avocado toast. We're going to have to pray for them. I mean...
Hey, wait a second. I like avocado toast. I like it, okay? You can't...
The millennial generation loves avocado toast.
Shop that is, like, going to charge me $10 for it, but I do love it. Sesame seeds, salt and pepper. Oh.
Now you got me interested.
Good stuff.
All right, Nowhere Ranch. I will keep preaching that you need to get out of the city and on the land. And that is true. That's something we promote here. Prepped and prepared. I know I'm going to suffer without my guac. She's going to suffer along with you, Danny. And I'm going to suffer with the coffee. I started hearing about coffee shortages. I got a little bit put up, but I went out and bought another big old tub of Maxwell House and made me feel a little better, but I got to start working on that now.
That stuff destroys your stomach.
What, coffee?
Maxwell House. We were drinking Maxwell House for a while. And then me and my husband both started getting very acidic stomachs, right? Like really acidic stomachs, feeling like there was a hollow pit in our stomachs, like just weird symptoms. And then we looked it up, and there were like thousands of people who had the exact same experience that we did. And we were like, oh my gosh, it's the Maxwell House.
It tastes so good, though. There's some risks I'm going to have to take. I like Folgers, but I don't know, me and my wife both can just like Maxwell House has got that taste. Southern, we got Belinda. Do you know Belinda from Clapper? Southern Belle?
Southern Belle sounds familiar.
She changes that name so much, I have to just look at her picture. But
I know too many people. There's 150,000 people that I need to keep track of. So I hope no one gets offended if I don't remember I go by the icon.
This
like,
old
never
man.
Change your icon because I won't know who you are.
See, she's pretty tore up over at avocado toast along with you. I'm gonna have to try this. Everybody keeps telling me avocado toast is good stuff. So
it is.
So
I mean, I know we make fun of people about it, but it's good stuff.
Hey, old man. We got Tom over here, Danny. Tom, we got Danny over here. Florida Southern Belle used to be Infamous Belle, and then she was Belinda and a number before that.
Between people changing their picture and changing their names, I have no idea who anyone is on a regular basis.
Well, you made my logos, most of mine, so except for the main one.
I did. Guys, if anyone needs a logo,
call Danny up.
I'm broke right now. I got 83 cents in my bank account. Help me out.
Tell them your GoFundMe account. Tell them your Cash App, PayPal. Hey, Grateful Garden Song. It's good to see you in here. So let's get the numbers up. Share this out to your socials. Share this out to your friends. Let's get this out there to folks. I have to dismiss the screen every time I go to try to share it to new folks. So I'm going to need everybody to help me with that. Let's get the people involved in this conversation. Let's get different views on this conversation, because what happens is it's easy to get stale and caught in a bubble. And a lot of times people get angry with liberals and trolls that come in. But, hey, I'm kind of just getting more towards the centrist idea of things. And when they come in and challenge what we're saying, that's always good, because already, now I'm not Nowhere Ranch, I don't know what their affiliation is, but them and Brian have changed my view on everything. But one thing I am going to step up is throwing rabbit crap in the garden. They say rabbit crap is like earthworms love rabbit crap, so I'm gonna fill it up.
Yeah, oh yeah. I used to breed rabbits, and yeah, they're definitely good for fertilizer.
So,
for
Brian,
sure. And the good thing about rabbit crap is that you don't have to let it decompose for a year. So, like, if you were going to put chicken crap on your garden, which is really good for it,
yeah,
you don't want to put that directly onto your garden because it's going to burn all of your plants.
yeah.
But rabbit crap, you could just throw that right on there.
It's
actually delicacy to eat it.
What?
In Germany, I believe. In Germany, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna have to. Am I gonna have to try this rabbit crap?
You can go for it, buddy. I believe in you.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that. One thing I have heard a lot of is the rabbits. They, when you find a lot of their droppings in their cage, they're saving that to re-ingest later. That's part of the process.
Yes. So there's, I forget what it's called, but there's a different kind of poop that comes out. It's more like a gelatin tablet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard and like hay-like the other ones are, and they eat that. It helps them to digest things more. It helps their system.
There's so much that people.
We're ruining everyone's breakfast, but we get down to the nitty-gritty around here.
You're not gonna. Belinda's saying no, thank you. She don't want to try the rabbit crap. Well, I mean, I've done had my cake, and now I'm having my coffee. So I've got a lunch sitting over there. We'll see where it goes.
So let's talk about the H1N1. So I'm not a very good person to talk to about this. I'm just going to say that flat out. But I have made many, many friends on TikTok over the past 2 years. And one of my friends, Marissa Messes, on here, she's a chicken expert. She writes articles for Chicken Magazine, the one that you see in Tractor Supply, all of that stuff. Her and my friend Suburban Farmer and another friend, Wilma the Wonder Hen, those 3 accounts, you want to go follow them because you want to be updated on this stuff. They're going around and killing thousands, hundreds of thousands of chickens right now. I believe it's breached into Tennessee. It's down in your area, Kentucky. I think it's headed into Alabama and all these different places.
They just down here, they're in trouble.
I just want to keep up on.
Yeah, nobody been able to kill these chickens down here.
Just 1 second. If you follow their pages, they are actually scheduling a conference for people to go into this weekend, I believe it is, so that you guys can get educated on what you need to do for biosecurity to keep your chickens safe. Because we don't want to see anybody losing their chickens.
That's true.
They're
I love
trying
my
to help
chickens.
you out, so give them a follow.
Hey, Brian Wagg brought something up. Animal manure ties up the micronutrients. Is that good or bad? In Nowhere Ranch, if you keep a closed flock, you have nothing to worry about. So where I'm at, we have wild chicken flocks. Then all my neighbors are free ranging their chickens. This morning, I got a flock over here from my cousin Bubba, and then a flock over here from my neighbor Abel. And then the wild chickens, you don't know where they're coming from. So if it gets down here, I mean,
oh yeah,
it's gonna be bad.
So I have one friend,
Polish American man, good to see you.
Watusi Wrangler on here. She has a big account too. She's one of my friends. She just recently did a video about biosecurity. She put all her chickens indoors. She bought extra pairs of Crocs so that she has separate houses for each, flock. She's got a couple different flocks, and she's got different Crocs for each one of them, because the trouble is that the wildlife birds can catch it and have it, and they poop in your yard, right? So then you go walking through your yard to go feed your chickens, and you're bringing that bird flu into your coop. So that's a real big danger. So you want to have your Crocs right outside the coop. You don't want to be, walking around the yard or anything like that. And you want to secure your chickens. You want to have them indoors for this time. You don't want to waste, some chicken tenders have thousands of chickens. And if it gets into their flocks, they're going to lose all of that investment.
So basically, so people that feed their chickens scraps could possibly pass it on with the chicken tenders?
Anything. anything. It could be on your hands. Like, say your kids go to school, they touch something dirty, they didn't wash their hands, they go play with the chickens. I think she said within a few hours, the chickens are going to be dead. 75% of the chickens are going to be dead.
Dang.
The ones that do survive are probably going to die eventually. Like,
Dang.
A little bit longer. But it's a big problem. It's a huge problem. It's something that I wasn't really paying attention to. And here's another thing, guys. This is not native to the United States. So whatever this is, the H1N1 has been brought in by another country. It got here by means of some way from another country. Keep that in mind when they're going around killing everybody's chickens.
Dang. So we're down to 5 folks, so let's try and share this out if you can. Let's get the likes up. Let's try and get more folks involved in this. Let's see. Now, Brian Wagg is saying the micros have to digest it first before it feeds the plant. So I guess he's saying too much manure is going to tie up the micros. So it may be, if you do put that in there, it's going to take a while before it can actually help the plants. Now, I know our ranch is talking about keeping a closed flock and incubating and raising their own chicks. So that's always good. Lightfoot Farm, good to see you in here. Good. Thank y'all for coming in. Help us share this out and get folks in.
If anyone's really worried about their food security with this chicken thing, if you can get quail right now, they're much smaller, they're quieter, they're easier to take care of. If you can get quail right now and keep them indoors, and this is for food security for people who aren't chicken tenders, that's what I would say to do.
Thanks, Beard Master. Thanks for the donut. So one of the things about the quail is, now they're one of the ultimate prepping animals. Now, they do have to have a higher protein food than chickens. Their meat usually has more protein packed, from what I understand. Now, when I've had quails, they're not terribly hard to keep. I do keep them in smaller set cages instead of higher set, so that it'll keep them.
I didn't know you had them.
Yeah, I've had them. Well, the first set I had, they got raised up, was doing real good. They'd come meet me at the little door every day. And then Jaeger, the first German Shepherd I had, he broke his leash, flipped the cage. I come out there, and we couldn't never find them. They disappeared into the woods, or he ate them, and they left no feathers. And then the second set we had, they didn't work out well. I think there was something, my buddy got them at the flea market. Brian Wagg says,
I have someone asking again who those people were to follow that are having the conference about the H1N1. So that's going to be Marissa Messes, Wilma, the Wonder Hen, and Suburban Farmer. You want to go follow those guys. They're going to be doing a conference. Oh, wow. He just popped into my comments, like, as I was saying his name. Suburban Farmer, when is that conference that you guys are holding about the H1N1? We'll wait. But, yeah, so Tyson has 240,000 chickens that are infected that they are culling right now.
Dang.
So it's in our food supply. It's going to affect our food supply. Your ears are burning, I bet.
So Brian Wagg, he is a 7th generation organic farmer. He's been doing this all his life. So I gave him a follow. He's on a phone call. He had a phone call come in right now, but I gave him a follow. I'm pretty sure I'm following Nowhere Ranch. Yeah, I'm following them. So we may try to schedule a live and get them up. I'm not the most well-versed in organic farming. I've grown gardens, I've raised animals, but as far as soil regeneration, I always was just told you put the daggum, you got to get nitrogen, potassium, and carbon right in your soil. Now, what they're saying, you can do this with just earthworms and hay. So, and he's probably got organic alfalfa seed, which right now, have you seen any of Blake's stuff lately? He's showing the prices of seed for hay right now just going through the roof.
I haven't, but I did expect that because I was talking to some people who they're hay farmers last year, and they were already doing bad last year. So this conference that they're doing is on Sunday, the 20th at 3 p.m. Eastern. You have to pre-register. Go over to Suburban Farmer, and he has all the information for you guys. This is something that you guys should know. Absolutely.
So go check that out if you're raising flocks. And in my area, northeastern Alabama, Tennessee area, it's starting. We got a lot of chicken houses down here, so it makes sense that it would come in down here. Belinda, if you didn't hear me a while ago, I had to kind of whisper because I didn't want to interrupt her. But she is on TikTok. She's on my main TikTok account, and we're on a what do you call these over here? Are we on a dual? What is this called over here?
I'm just gonna still call it a dual live and call it a day.
We just can't see each other's comments
anymore. We've been on Clapper too long.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll have guests, and then it gets really wild over there between the guests. And Danny just got mad and left the other day, and I said I saw her, but and it was just it got
I didn't get mad. I was just like, this is too much drama for me. I'm out. I'll see you later.
Well, it always devolves to that. And I was talking to somebody else, and I was like, I can't keep letting this go on. I'm trying to talk about prepping and trying to have good content, for people to learn. And they're not learning anything from a squabble amongst prep talk. And so we don't want that to happen. Yeah. We got good folks. A real heated discussion between all of the preppers. Well, I just wasn't there for it. I wasn't down for it. One had been hurt in the situation, I believe. The other one had got involved and really just kind of went at it because they did see some dangerous things. And I will say that there were some dangerous things being pushed as okay to do. And so, but I'm trying to come at it rationally. Like, you've got a guy that's enthusiastic, so we want him to learn. Hey, I'm glad he's bringing people into the community. But then you've got to have
It's entertaining.
Yeah, you've got to have a rapport.
That's what it is.
You've got to have a rapport with people. Yeah, I'm trying to be a peacekeeper over here, Glenn. That's just like on Clapper. that was my downfall on Clapper, peacekeeping. But you've got to have that rapport with folks to be able to influence, better decisions. And I've learned that with church. I've learned that with online. It's just you can't go in attacking and expect good results to come from people.
You get what you get. That's what it is. Or you get what you give. There it is.
Exactly. Now, Lightfoot Farms saying there are a bunch of geese in the fields around their place that's making them nervous. I've got a couple geese. I know geese will eat up a lot of grass. I know that. So must be the geese have to be highly controlled.
Hey, Jesse.
Oh, they're afraid of them bringing in the bird flu. So that's
So as far as I know, my knowledge so far is that the wildlife population is better at warding off this kind of thing, so they can be asymptomatic and carry it. Mm-hmm. It's the domesticated birds that are going to be dying in thousands with this.
It's kind of like the wild population's probably got a better immune system, a stronger immune system, whereas the domesticated birds has been taken care of all their lives. They may have some immunity, but they don't to a lot of things. So, it seems now this is
immunity for the win, right? These birds are out in nature and they're getting their natural immunity, and then when you domesticate things, it can go south. So, Suburban Farmer, I'm not sure if you're still here. People are asking if the conference is free. I'm pretty sure it's free, but I don't want to speak to that. Guys, just go check out his page, Suburban Farmer. He's been a friend of mine for over 2 years. Oh, he said yes, it's free.
So I'm going to tell everybody in here, give Brian Wagg 67 and Lightfoot Farm a follow. They seem to have a better handle. I've never claimed to have a real good handle on gardening. That is one of my struggles. My brother's a fantastic gardener, but I am still in the process of figuring things out with my work. I have to fix it to kind of go with the flow, be able to handle itself. And I've got it there, but it's always a struggle. But yeah, give them a follow because they have a lot. They may be uploading a lot of content right now. It seems like homesteaders, preppers, survivalists, bushcrafters are being shadow banned on every platform. That's one of the reasons I'm screaming at the top of my lungs on 5 platforms, any platform I can, because somebody's gonna listen to me, dadgummit. And Danny's kind of
doing the same thing for a long time now, so
yeah, Danny's
nice
kind of the same.
Company.
Well, see, I met Danny over here on Clapper. All y'all are part of our Clapper fam, so it's been a lot. We both had some of the same kind of goals set before us. We've both felt this is kind of a calling to a lot of us. We're finding more people that have felt that call. I'm actually recently found a childhood friend that just like come up out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm into prepping too, man. God called me into it. He was a militant atheist,
Awesome.
got into it. We're even seeing the pagans getting in on this thing. They're some of the best when it comes to. One of them is one of the best I've seen when it comes to foraging, foraging and outdoors. Content. Be Free Inside. I know Be Free Inside 2 is one of his. I don't know how many he's got, but he's got a lot of content. And I guess what I hope I promote on here is we've got to come together to be able to do this. It's not going to, they want us squabbling, they want us fighting, they want us not getting along. Because if we do that, sometimes I got to get on here and eat crow because I don't know a lot about gardening, but these guys do, and they set me straight, so I'm going to promote them. We have got to promote one another. We've got to create these communities. We've got to create outside platforms. I've got the website. Danny's got a website. She's linked to my website. She's trying to promote Victory Gardens. I'm trying to promote old skills returning because I don't know them all, and I'm trying to relearn them. So right now I'm down to 4.
I'm promoting all of it.
Yeah.
I'm involved in everything. I found that my mind is pretty versatile, and I get bored at one subject and jump to the next subject, and I just advocate for everything. But yeah, be prepared. If you're not prepared by now, or you haven't even thought about it, don't be one of those people that's like, oh well, if shit hits the fan, I'm coming to your house. No, you're not. You're not.
I'm
Don't
disappearing.
show up at my house.
I'm disappearing. Don't look for me. Don't disappear. I mean, don't come to my house. I'm disappearing. FEMA, did you see my video I put up to people warning about FEMA coming in and raiding your cupboards? I said, have a plan to hide it or destroy it. And people was like, you're going to let people go hungry just so you can't, just because you can't have it? I said, look, I'm going to feed anybody that comes along that I can. I'm going to do it to my neighbors and my family. But FEMA is not getting it. The government is not going to have control of my food. That is going to be the basic set of it. They're not going to get my livestock. I'll turn them chickens to the winds, and they'll survive. They'll get in there with them wild chicken flocks. Let them go take all of them. Turn a goat loose. Let's see what happens to him. He'll be out there in them woods surviving. I just go out there and find the babies and pin them back up when FEMA runs out of people to go after. I'm gonna say it's let's get the likes back up. Let's get the shares out. We're down to 3 folks. Let's get more.
How many people you have over there?
3 people. This is the lowest I've had in a while. 3? Yeah, it's early, so I think that
I have 12 over here. I think you get more views if you have multiple people in the same live in the boxes. You've ever seen like the 4 boxes where you can get 4 people in there?
Yeah. Now yesterday we got real high in the views when just me and you. I think we maintained 50. I got up to 60 some odd people in here a while ago for a while. It's just I think it's early. People are tapping in, listening. Hey, Lady of Lord, good to see you. We're seeing more and more people. Buzzard Life said some of us are loyal, but we have people coming in and out.
Guys, tap the screen, hit the share button. You don't even have to share it anywhere if you can't.
Well, we're up to 800 likes.
Hit the share button and hit copy link, and it'll help us out to get more views on this live.
Now I'll tell you, clappers.
The screen and the comments. Drop your favorite color in the comments. Your favorite vegetable. Your favorite tip.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Put some trucks in the comments. We're still put some corn in the comments. We're worried about the feed situation. Throw us some corn and chickens in the comments. Let's get some chickens and corn in there, and that way people will want to know what's going on. We're talking about lack of feed. We're talking about feeding chickens. One of the things I was bringing up, I was talking to Walker. I was talking about a mealworm farm, kind of supplement protein, and Golden Treasures preppers are my favorite. Thank y'all. I hope she's. No, she's.
Over here, he says he's corn fed.
Corn fed. But yeah.
Corn fed.
He was talking about the mealworm farm. He said that you can make a lot of money mealworm farming. He said he could send me into the right place Friday. He'd get to see you in here. But he was saying that I could make money if I got my mealworm farm up going good. I'm like, you got my dreams and aspirations shooting through the roof right now. Right?
They eat each other, though. I've tried it before, and I get to a certain point where they start eating each other. So I kept my mealworms in oatmeal, right? So that they always have a constant food source. And they wind up eating each other.
They eat each other in the oatmeal? Huh. I didn't have that issue.
I don't know if it's like for water content or what.
Did you not have fruit in there?
No, I would put fruit in there, but eventually over like maybe 2 months, they would start eating each other. I don't know why.
Get to see.
They would have plenty of fruit, all that stuff.
Huh.
They would still eat each other.
I don't know.
And I would hear it. Oh my gosh, Dennis, this was in my bedroom, right? Because I had little lizards that I was feeding them to. This is in my bedroom, and in the middle of the night, I'm hearing tiny little crunches, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm listening to cannibalism right now as I'm trying to sleep.
It's like when we throw the scraps out to the chickens and they're eating them chicken nuggets. You just have to learn to overlook it sometimes.
The chickens love chicken.
Something
they love it.
Chicken are cannibals. They actually have rose-colored glasses that you can find here and there. They're hard to find, but they would put them on the chickens in the chicken houses to keep them, because if a chicken sees blood, it starts pecking. And they would put them on the chickens to keep them from pecking one another in the older chicken houses. And I thought that was, how did you put them on all them dang chickens? That's crazy. But
I love that. I want to take a video of a whole bunch of chickens with sunglasses on it now. I mean, I'm inspired at this point.
Well, they got the beak clips now you can put in, and then you can clip the beaks to keep them from doing it. Like actually cut the beaks off, and there's probably some that do that. I seen something today, and I think you would like it. It was a clip from Yellowstone, and what is the guy's name? I know it if I wasn't the one. He was in Waterworld and all that. What's his name?
Was that Mel Gibson? No. Was it Mel Gibson?
No, it wasn't Mel Gibson. Somebody probably.
It's been a while since I saw that movie. That's a good movie.
Waterworld, The Postman.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Someone said Kevin Costner.
So Kevin Costner. He's walking out, and one of the girls, I imagine she's probably, I ain't watched Yellowstone yet. I need to go watch it. But she's sitting there, and they're like, we're trying to protest racist police state that wants to supply food and kill animals and yada yada, all that big spiel. And he said, You ever plowed a field? He said, you kill snakes, you kill frogs, you kill bugs. He said, you kill moles, field mice. He said, what it is, you just got to decide what animals are cute enough for you to fight to keep alive or not. And I was thinking, that is exactly right. I mean, you don't see them fighting too much for a dang nasty looking toad frog out in the yard. They're not worried about some bugs.
I beg to differ in my household. My kids are obsessed with toads. Every single time they want to bring them home. We had one named Hamburger because he was the size of a hamburger.
Well, I'm not going to go into what when we were kids back, us redneck Alabama kids done to toads. We're not going to go into that. It's too graphic. The people in here would probably not like what we did. She's come in over here on TikTok. Good to see you, girl. She's Belinda89 over here. So that was her old name on Clapper when I first met her. Story time.
I can't keep up with all the names. If I get canned again, I'm gonna go grow food now 1111 is what I am right now. The next one's probably gonna be 22222.
She's done had 1,000 counts canned on TikTok already. I hit 142,000. I hit 142,000 on Clapper. Right? This old man just he said congrats on that. I didn't realize.
Congratulations.
That's a milestone on there. How long have we been? I've been on Clapper now for
it's over a year.
I know about it. Because October, November was a year. So November, December, January, February. We're about a year and a third of a year. So it seems like so much longer though, because so much has changed.
That long already.
It seems like I've been on there for years. I feel like an old influencer. I'm just getting old. I've been doing this since Facebook.
Well, how about me? I started on TikTok 3 years ago when it first switched over from Musical.ly to TikTok. I look at my old videos and I'm like, wow, I was looking good. My hair was nice and thick. I was like, I'm watching myself age. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah, I think my beard didn't have as much white down the middle. There was a lot of stress in the beginning when I first started doing influencing, setting everything up, making content, having content. As I got going forward, I realized, hey, Jeremy, it's good to see you, bud. Hey, y'all go follow Jeremy. Jeremy is an awesome guy. He's got a homestead. He's an A-level prepper, is what we call him. He's the Superman of preppers, so he knows things. But thanks. And Belinda's mentioning that always praying for you in Alabama. That was my catchphrase for a while. Y'all just pray for us down here in Alabama, and I still need them prayers. But it was like I started.
Go ahead.
I started doing this, and it was like I didn't know nothing about it. So then I started learning from Redhead Rebel. Then I just started. I'd take one day and just put a bunch of videos on the drafts. I crashed 2 phones doing that crap, but it kept the count going. And then I got on TikTok, and that kind of seemed I had to figure out a whole nother algorithm. Now I'm on Instagram figuring that out, and YouTube's going to be next. So who knows?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
The website was the thing.
YouTube is something that I underrated for myself, because what I noticed is when I type my name into Google, if my YouTube videos are there, those are what pops up first on the video feed, on the image feed, all of that kind of stuff. So everything from YouTube is actually really valuable, which is something I did not pay attention to at all. I was like, I don't like Google. I don't want to deal with YouTube. But you know what? All of these apps are garbage.
You can.
The only thing that's good about them is that we're all learning from them, and we're all helping each other out with them. But I was going to ask you about the Pray for Alabama, right? I had seen an article that, and this is going maybe a month and a half, two months back, about the fact that your public schools in Alabama were not able to feed the kids school lunches because they were running out of food.
How's that
going?
Some areas. I know our kids they've had food, and one of the things that they keep saying, like my wife she works in another school than my kids are in, because she helps special needs kids, and she's told me kind of the mixtures of what they've had to give them, and it's been like just weird stuff. Well, then my kids come home and tell me, and what it is there's inflation, there's shortages, whether people want to admit it or not. There's shortages around the board, and the school system is suffering because of it. Now, one of the things to note here in Alabama, now we have a large addiction community. We have a large addiction community with the kids. Jeremy's actually bringing up what you were bringing up. Jeremy, here in a minute, I'm going to let her give another spiel on the conference they're having about that. You might want to get involved. Danny's actually advertising a conference about what you are.
You froze on me.
Yeah. And so what people don't realize, we have what's called a backpack program. Now, the company I'm at, they take up food and donate it to the local schools. There's also people that donate it to my kids' schools. There's people that donate it to the schools my wife works at, because you have this huge drug addiction community. And the thing that happens, and you see it all the time, they'll have a house, they won't have no power. They're selling food stamps to people. And I've actually had people in my family that do this, that I was the only one to say something to them about it. Just be honest. And people in the family got mad at me about it, but I'm like, you know what? I said, you're selling food out your kids' mouths. I don't need a bow. I said, well, I'm going to tell you, when you go over to your daddy's house asking for food, I'm going to ask you if you still need them things. And what it was is like, they sell food stamps to people, and people buy them, 50 cents on the dollar a lot of times. Then those people go out and use them. Well, then these drug addicts will take it and buy their dope. They'll buy their meth. They'll buy their heroin. They'll buy, whatever they need. They'll buy their pot to sleep.
That's a problem countrywide. That's not just Alabama.
Well,
that is happening everywhere.
It's true.
The fentanyl addiction that people have right now, people are dropping like flies with fentanyl. If you guys Google how many people died in the past 2 years of fentanyl overdoses, it will blow your mind.
Well, what happens, my wife sees these kids come in, they're filthy, because they don't have water. There's no electricity. They're getting sick. They stay sick. And then the police can't do anything about it because these people have learned they're either like an informant and the police won't do nothing. I had a friend. He had been heavily in it. He got saved. He came to Christ. He began to be a minister. And what he said was, and he was explaining to me, I said, it sounds like the police here are farming the crackheads for money, because I do know there have been law enforcement, when they go in and raid a building, they'll grab the cash out their wallets, they'll take things. I had a young lady tell us one time, she said and she was in agreement with them because, she was part of that group. They said, we got to get paid somehow. And so I told him, I said, sounds like they're farming them. He said, that's a good idea. I'm going to use that when I go to prison to minister to the people with the drugs. But you have the kids that are suffering. And then here we are bringing them backpacks full of food. That there's kids that have to hide that food. Because what happens, the parents get so hungry that if they find that food, they'll eat it. They'll eat it right out from under their kids. Because you're a selfish person that's addicted. You're killing your own self. It's just one step of depravity to start killing your kids, basically, with starvation. You don't care.
My daughter had a friend. My daughter had a friend in, I want to say, second grade, and the girl had just plaque and tartar all over her teeth. And my daughter had a conversation, a nice one, but how come your teeth are so bad, And they were good friends, and she said, because I don't have a toothbrush. And I knew it was because her parents were addicted. Her parents were completely addicted. And, a lot of people are getting addicted because of these pharmaceutical companies that are trying to force everything down our throats right now. It is the same people doing both things. And it's really sad because I personally lost several people in my own life to fentanyl in the past couple of years. It's so sad. But the kids are the ones that are suffering.
See,
that's why there's so many school programs to try to help the kids with food, like weekend programs, night programs, sending backpacks full of food, stuff like that, because the parents aren't taking care of these kids.
And the kids shouldn't suffer.
Have to be social workers at this point in time.
Yeah. One of the things that people don't realize is just how much kids depend on those school meals, because that's the one place they can get food. Yeah. That's one of those safety nets. And I don't care what you say, it's one of those safety nets I feel like we as the public should provide. It's the one meal they're getting. We should donate, we should help, because it's the one meal they're getting. That might be the only place they're getting fed. They're little, they cannot do for themselves. That's why they're called children. And the thing is, that might be the only place that they feel love. My wife talks about kids that'll come up and hug her and they wrap their arms. That's the only love they're getting. And that's why I always do the no kid hungry thing. I don't care what nobody says. I know that our social workers are understaffed. They're overworked. People like to say a lot of things. But my cousin's in one of the leaders in the social. She's a social worker. She's one of the heads in there. And she tells you about some of the stuff that's happening. And it's not just, it's in all the communities. It's white, Hispanic, African American. People are struggling. Now Jeremy's saying his county gives free lunch and breakfast in the backpack program, and see that's the thing. Let's see here. If anything, where I believe it takes a village to raise kids, that is it. But we're just seeing so many things dropped across the board. They have allowed this to come in our country. They've allowed this to happen in our country. They're just That's why I'm at this point. That's why I prep, because I'm not going to get into the political debate anymore. It's not doing any good. We're not doing anything for anybody. We're not going to win this. It is crumbling. And even our own politicians on what you might call the right side where you're at, they're contributing to it because they're selfish. Skyburger, we're talking about people, these kids that are the only meal they might be getting is at school lunch because their parents are drug addicts, living off just whatever they can. They might be selling the food stamps to buy dope, and I've seen that firsthand. I've had that conversation with a person firsthand, selling their food stamps for dope money instead of keeping their if you go watch the video I put out today, my little nephew. Now, he's with my father-in-law now. He's being raised by him. And I told my wife, I said, we're going to have to start helping this kid. His dad won't get involved. At some points, I've heard he tries to say he's not his, but the kid looks just like him. So if that gets out there and you get mad about it, buddy, I don't really care. I love you, but if that's what you're doing, that's bull crap. And anyways, we're going to go forward. Somebody probably say it on Facebook and share it to them. They can. But what's happened is he's been put he has nobody but us. And his mother was dragging him around to dope houses. It was bad. My mother-in-law would go in and find him. And she said she just feel like she needed to go in. And she's not where she needs to be, but she does care about the boy. And she'd go in and get him, take him with her. Finally, he told my father-in-law, he says, I don't want to live with mama no more. I'm tired of living with mama. And I kept telling him, you're going to have to quit.
It gets to the point where the child is now advocating for himself. That's when you know it's bad, because kids usually just go with the flow. But if the kid's at the point where, someone save me, please.
That's true.
Then you need to pay attention. And you know what, Dennis? Like, this is not just Alabama. This is not just your family. This is in every community across the country, across the world. It is a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart. That's why I tell people, 1 in 4 kids in this country, in America, United States of America, goes to bed with no food. And that was before the pandemic happened. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine how it is right now?
I would say
because people are getting addicted with these lockdowns. People are they're giving up and they're giving into their addictions, and it's sad.
Scott Berkey's in
It breaks my heart every day.
One of the things that I'm gonna say about that situation, that little boy, I taught him how to throw axes. He come out there and he seemed to really have 6 years old. He's out there planting it in the target. That was the most exciting thing in that kid's life because he hadn't really got to do nothing. So now when I go pick the boys up, he'll run up, hey, Uncle Denny. And then he told me the other day, he said, Uncle Denny makes the best TikToks. I love watching them. And I realized just how much of an impact, just going out there and doing stuff because he's had nobody to do it. If you have these kids in your neighborhood, you might want to look down on them. You might not care about them. They might be a problem to you. But I'm going to tell you something. Them kids, they're kids. And everybody wants to grab about kids these days. I'm going to tell you, somebody let them kids get that way. These kids that don't know nothing, they're entering into the workforce. Me and Jeremy's talked about it many times. We're getting at the age you got to start stepping up and teaching them. You got to get out there and do something. Let's share this out. Let's get some folks involved because I feel like this is an issue. It's that underlying issue nobody wants to talk about, and I don't care to talk about because it's kids. I can get banned or banana for it. But, that made that boy's day to come over. And there's always a fight because him and the little one gets jealous. Weston don't like it because it's somebody else his age. Or they get in a fist fight. One of them ends up crying. I have to break them up. But he's out there with us. He gets to be in one of the TikTok videos. He's all excited about it. He gets to, I let him help me do some ReadyWise advertisements. I know the kid's being taken care of now because my father-in-law will, and I know he's doing stuff with him. But that kid has went through so much, and there's rejection. Look at these kids you're rejecting right now. Look at these ones that's coming into the workplace right now. Look at the ones that may be watching your videos. They may be a little disgruntled. But I want you to understand, you can either be an impact or you can be a problem with that kid. And they're young, and they're coming out. And I've seen so many of what we call the Gen X generation, and I'm not getting on all y'all, but I see them all the time berating these kids. But we just didn't care. We played outside. Maybe you had that option, and these kids didn't because the doped up parents locked them in a room and wouldn't let them out. And that happens. I see it happen all the time. Step up and be a part of the issue. That makes me so mad, and I don't get mad about much, but if you want to sit there and berate a kid because his clothes are nasty, go buy him some clothes. You say, well, you can't help the dope heads, you give them money, the parents will say, well, at least you tried to get some clothes on them. Go over and if they're sick, hey, find a way to get the teachers to help that kid. Well, you know what the biggest problem is right now? Why these drug addicts? Because mama and daddy will go get the kid and give it back to them. And Gen X, they're Gen Xers. Oh, baby. Oh, she's trying to raise that kid. She's been doing real good for last week. And she's sitting over there smoking cigarettes at the daggum gas station, and the kid ain't got nothing to eat. Yeah. We'll see, Jeremy. I done got too heated for him.
I hear you. I get inspired up about it as you do. I really do, because there was this little boy who started hanging out with my daughter, and his mom was a mess. Every time she would come over to my house to drop this kid off, she'd be like tweaking and jerking all over the place. And I'm like, you know what? In my heart, I was like, I hope that this boy remembers coming to my house and seeing how not everyone lives in chaos the way that he has to every single day. And there was one time where, you know, he told me, he's like, you know, I had a pet rat that lived in my couch. And I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You had a pet rat that lived in your couch? And he goes, yeah, he just lived in the couch. He goes, yeah, but that was in my foster home. That was in one of my foster homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's, you know, he keeps talking about these, like, weird things, situations that he had been in that I've never even, my kids couldn't even comprehend. You know what I mean? And, like, we went to drop him off the one time. We brought him out with us. We brought him all over to get ice cream, all that kind of stuff. And we went to drop him off, and the mom sent me an address. It was the middle of a trailer park, but the trailer that they were in was all glass. And this thing was made in, like, the 60s or 70s. And it was cold. Like, you know, you could just imagine in the winter this thing being freezing, right? This kid said to me, just in random conversation one day, he said, you know how some people live in cold houses and some people live in warm houses?
That's crazy.
And it broke my heart because I knew that this kid was telling me that in the middle of the winter, he was living in a cold house and he had to take cold showers.
I hate to interrupt you.
CYS was involved. They were involved, but they didn't
exactly.
help them. His mother told him to go start the car. This kid's 10 years old. She's going, oh, go start the car for me. It was a breathalyzer that she had in the car. She had this kid breathing into the breathalyzer to start the freaking car.
See, I understand needing help, but there are ways to get help. There are ways. We have so many ways to get help. People sometimes, they misuse the help, and it doesn't get to the kid. And I see these situations, and one of the reasons I push so hard to teach people how to stay warm outside, and I've seen a lot of it on Clapper. I have homeless people that'll come in and thank me because they found something I was putting on there, and it's bushcraft stuff. People wonder, why do you put so much bushcraft? Because you don't realize that homeless person may have a phone, and they're running off, and they don't got no service. They can't call nobody except through Facebook, but they're going through McDonald's Wi-Fi, and they're sitting there watching. That's all they charge on public stuff. And they're sitting there watching. And it's somebody that may have just went homeless, because we got a lot of that happening now. And they don't know how to sleep out in the cold. You got people that are freezing to death in America, and nobody will ever find out about it because their body's laying off in a ditch somewhere where they didn't insulate themselves from the ground. And there's kids out there that have no idea. I mean, and I'll tell you this. Prepper Nation can say I beat this over the head with a stick and run it in the ground. But there's kids out there that don't understand you can't cut a tree down immediately and burn it. And
it's the green.
Yeah.
It's the basic skills that people they don't know because they never had to deal with it.
And that is your public school system.
Everybody's in denial because they've never had to deal with it. They never expected something like this to happen in their lifetime. So they're still with the rose-colored glasses on going, oh, no, it's fine. We're all going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I have friends in food distribution that are sending me pictures in my DMs going, there's an issue. There's a huge issue here. These shelves are empty in the distribution centers. So it's just that, we need to wake people up to the point where it's like, history repeats itself. It happens every single time that there's a plague or some kind of pandemic or whatever. It immediately follows is a famine, some sort of famine. And am I saying people are going to be laying out in the streets and starving to death? I really hope not.
No.
But we are at the point where it's like, if you don't pay attention to it, if you don't listen to what I have to say, then you're just being willfully ignorant.
Yeah.
At that point, you still have those rose-colored goggles.
Some people will never change, in that. As a society, we've got so convenient. We've made it real easy for folks to survive. and where society where life used to cull certain people out and kept, they kept the folks that were willing to learn in there. We've allowed I seen the kid the other day that said strawberry milk was, maybe it was a joke. Strawberry milk is vegan because it's strawberry milk, not cow's milk. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, and it was one of the, your early 20s type people. And I'm like, what? What are we teaching in school? What?
Nothing.
We're
Nothing
teaching
of substance.
We're teaching politics and political correctness. And I'm going to tell you, it don't matter how politically correct you are, it's not going to fill your belly. I'll be honest. We had a generation that went to work, and a lot of things got lost in farming. Well, then we had a generation that quit working, and a lot of things in manufacturing are getting lost. So you're going to have, at one point, you're going to have us saying stuff. They'll come and find us. They'll take what we got. They'll attack our farms, or we'll be in a fuel system, kind of like Europe was during when they collapsed. You had these little fiefdoms with walled cities, and that was about the only way to survive during the Dark Ages. You'll have something similar to that, but before it gets there, you're going to have just a huge, it's gonna happen all at once. It's like, and we're kind of seeing it now. The system has been overtaxed by the pandemic and the politicians over the last 4 or 5 years. But you're gonna see a point, and it's not gonna be an asteroid. It's not gonna be a nuclear bomb. There may be one involved, but it's gonna be just like, it's just got that one cog. That last cog is gonna fly loose, and then everybody, I don't care what side you're on, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, everybody's going to realize where they're weak. I'm going to realize how weak I am. And then you're going to have a lot of people die, whether you're prepared, whether you're not. I'm just trying to get myself a chance. I'm not prepared. Nobody is fully prepared for every situation.
No, because we've been pampered too long in this society. There's no way that we could even comprehend what people have gone through historically in the past when it comes to this kind of stuff. Because we're so used to being in our cushy homes with our electricity and our running water. You take those two basic things away, and watch how quickly people fall apart because they have no idea what to do. And that's just that situation. That's just like a tree took out a power line and you don't have, all of those amenities anymore. But you sit there and you wait 3 days for the power to come back on and you're fine. But what if it doesn't come back on? What if your cell phone doesn't work anymore? What if the grocery store has been raided and all of the food is gone? The trucks aren't running. What do you do then?
I'm sorry. I just looked back. I seen Buzzer Life laughing at something Lightfoot Farms, and I went back and I looked at vegan eggs.
Someone tried to convince me that eggs were dairy. and
Lord help
about it. That eggs are dairy, and I'm like, they are not dairy. They're protein. And they come from a chicken.
I've got a guy in here, Chris McDougall, 2022. He says he's ready, and he's lived 1 year in the woods. Now, that's pretty impressive if you've lived out there in the woods. And that's about as ready as you can be. Now, Jan Fulltex says ovo-lacto. That's something probably to do with the vegan stuff. But
Ovaltine. That's what popped in my head.
Ovaltine. Remember to drink your Ovaltine. It's a dead blame commercial. Done got in trouble with his mama for not letting his little brother in the bathroom for an Ovaltine commercial. Eggs. Buzzer Life said eggs are dairy. No, Buzzer.
I have someone with the eggs or dairy thing over here, and she's like, "Bok bok moo."
I'm gonna Buzzer Live. You know there's trolls coming in here, and they're gonna really believe that junk. And I don't know, it may be a problem. Takes care of itself then if you do that. Yes, it's a vegan thing. Jane full text. She's saying, what is it? She brought up ovo-lacto. That's some kind of vegan thing. when we were 9 years old, we got left in the woods for 1 week to teach us we are Viking. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm a Viking. That's where this comes from.
Three-gun champ.
These soul-searing blue eyes, they come from the Viking.
They say I got a little Viking. I got told by one of my buddies, he says, you look like an Irish warrior or a Scottish warrior. I said, I'm a redneck hillbilly. I'm a redneck backwoods fighter. Now, Three-Gun Champ says communities are being built and people are uniting as we speak. And that's what is going to happen. People with different skills are going to have to join together in communities. If I ever get the money to invest, I'm going to build. And I've talked with Kevin May about this, and he's been in land management before. He's done everything over in Australia, and but I was talking to him about it, about self-sustaining communities. We have our own milling equipment. We have our own sawmills. We have our own 3D printers. We have our own laser printers, cutters. We have all that equipment. Everybody has certain trades. It's not going to be a commune. You can't get in unless you're ready to work. But it's going to be for folks that want to move out of the city.
Is like application only. If I was running something like that, it would be application only. I want to know what your skills are, and I want to see you put them into practice.
Well, you're going to have to pay. It's going to be like a leasing program. We'll start you out on an acre and see how you do it. It's going to be for people that come out of the city, because there are people in the city with skills that may have moved into the city later on that just want to get out. They got took in there as kids. No, it's not going to be communist commune. It's going to be just a town where we survive. It's going to be like an old town. But
we're starting a cult.
You want to join?
So if you'd like to sign like an application, we can do the applications, and then we can see where.
Basically, going to be a settlement, and the people that get let in will elect a mayor. And if he don't like what I'm doing there, he will be the one that takes responsibility for that community. And then I'm going to go and start a whole nother one. And then they're all going to have connections and manufacturing abilities. Yeah, that's the definition.
I have a not politically correct joke that I'm going to say about the Viking thing.
All right. Oh, Lord. Don't get us bananaed.
The reason why Vikings are so beautiful is because they didn't take the ugly ones. But it's true. But it's true, though.
But, yeah. Back to the commune thing, Danny. But no, in all reality, this is going to be a bit.
It's true.
This is going to be like a subdivision that I'm working on. People buy in. It's not going to have. It's going to be capitalism, basically. But everybody's going to have a way. They're going to grow their own food. It's not going to be I grow food and you get to eat it. You grow your own food. What you're paying for is a spot in a like-minded community. And if you want to call that communist community, I don't care. It's not.
I got someone over here ready to register right now. He's like, where do I register?
I'm going. There's prepping communities starting up everywhere. Everybody's got to have their own food stock when they come in. They're going to have their own garden space. They have to come in with that mind. You're going to work. This is a community. If you don't, you're out. It's not going to be. We're not going to be sitting around no campfire singing "Kumbaya." We may be some hippies, but we're going to have plenty of guns, and we're not going to be burning incense. I'm going to guarantee you that. It's Three-Gun Champ. It's going to be for protection.
For God, I burn incense in honor of God. You don't burn incense?
No, I don't burn. I burn some wood out back. I burn things, but
because he likes sacrifice. So I
well,
sacrifice
now you're a Christian. Sacrifice has been done away with Christ's sacrifice.
I still follow
the Judaistic laws. Okay.
I try to be as close to the original as I can possibly do with with myself.
Well, now you're not out there.
Other Christians for not though.
You're not out there sacrificing your chickens, are you? On an altar?
No.
I was making sure now.
I'm not Hillary.
I worry about them chickens. I worry about them chickens ever since I met you here, Danny. Poor thing, you wrung its neck. Did you at least give it a good burial? We'll tell you. But now, this is something. It's going to be more like a subdivision. Have you seen that guy, the food forest guy that come on to Clapper for a while? He goes around and does food forest. See, that's kind of what I want to. It's going to be like a community that people will buy your land. It's going to be like a subdivision. There's going to be requirements, but it's not going to be like we all going to sit there and just, you get this just because you come in here. No, it's basically you're paying for land. We're going to have, I'm going to buy the water rights on the land. It's going to have a well access, maybe have a stock pond, but you'll have rights it's kind of like any of these gated communities you see. And
are we really starting the cult? No. It's really happening or what?
Well, this is something I'm eventually working to. I have no money to put into this. I've got to get this thing. I've been slowly getting it together. It's in the works. It's not going to be a cult. It's not going to be a commune. It's going to be basically
I'm sarcastic, and if his audience doesn't know me, I'm a bit of a jerk.
Making fun of me on my own show.
Me is like a female George Carlin. Like, I don't have a filter, so.
She's not as bad as Prepper Nation. He makes fun of me on my own show and just flat out tries to take me to the ground. She's at least a little lighter on me than he is. Brian Wagg, good to see you back in here. I ain't done it in a while, so everybody share this live out. Let's get some folks in here. I'm probably going to, in the next 20 or 30 minutes, I'm going to probably call it. And do my last little bit. It's something I've been wanting to do on the show. I've got this. A lot of people seem to be interested in it. So you can screenshot this, folks, if you want to try and find this on eBay. I got it at a thrift store.
Nice.
So that's the author. That's the name. You can screenshot it. Hopefully everybody's had time to screenshot that. So there's a lot of things I found out in here that I didn't know, because I'm always trying to learn, because I try to go over the full spectrum. But I learned about red clover. I've learned about a lot of home remedies from just your regular seeds. And
I got something to show you.
Show me this.
This is a 15-pound Bible from 1890.
Dang.
And guess what was in here? I gotta find one of the pages that has it, but
a silver dollar from 1890.
No, but there's clover. There's clover that someone pressed into this Bible, and it's 4-leaf clovers. And they have like, you know how rigid chips, like the chips with the ridges that are like up and down waves? These clovers have those ridges in it, and I personally never saw that. I'm trying to find it. But they're like bigger than normal. They're 4-leaf clover, and it really like blew me away.
So
what you got there?
This is thyme. We're going to look at thyme. I'm going to put this up here. If you want to screenshot that for your digital archives, you can screenshot that for your digital archives. This is a lot of writing about thyme. A lot of people can get thyme at your store. We're going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to try and do this a little bit every day. Just give people stuff. So hopefully everybody had a chance. If you want to screenshot this, let me know and I'll hold it up and you can get a good screenshot of it. So Thymus app or SPP. I don't know. That's cursive writing. That's hard for me. We only done that 1 year in school. Garden thyme is the cultivated form of wild thyme, known as mother of thyme, probably because of its traditional use for menstrual disorders. Wild thyme derives its Latin name from the plant's serpent-like growth. I think I got a lot of thyme out there in the woods. It looks just like the stuff growing out in the woods. It's
Did you just say thyme?
Thyme. Thyme. What is it?
It's thyme.
Thyme?
It's yeah.
I'm calling it thyme. This is Alabama. I don't know what you're talking about. Pliny recommends it as an antidote for snake bites, poison of marine creatures, and headaches. The Romans also burned the plant in the belief that the fumes would repel scorpions. And for headaches,
I find it now.
For headaches, a decoction in vinegar is applied to the temples. Let's see here.
Really, of time?
Yeah.
Really?
This is from the Pliny, A.D. 77. He was a medicinal herbalist from A.D. 77. Let's see, actually, antiseptic, expectorant, antispasmodic, antiseptic, astringent, antimicrobial, diuretic, soothes coughs, antibiotic, heals wounds, and it's topical, increases blood flow to an area. The aerial parts, an antiseptic, expectorant. The aerial parts are ideal for deep-seated chest infections marked by the thick yellow phlegm. They're also a useful digestive remedy, warming for stomach chills and associated diarrhea. Harvest before and during flowering in summer. Discard the woody stems. Now it's talking about the essential oils. Extremely antibacterial and antifungal. The oil also stimulates the immune system and concentrated form of the herb. It is good for respiratory and digestive problems. Several qualities of thyme oil are available commercially. All have similar actions. All right, you go ahead. What were you going to say?
Look at that. 4-leaf clover.
And that's over 100 years old?
This book is from 1890. I don't know when they put this in here, but this is huge. There are several of the 4-leaf clover, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. I try to get the camera to focus on it.
Brian is saying you can eat the tops. Tony is saying thyme is good for mucus. Brian also saying you can make a rat poison also from clover. Hey, Amara, thanks for the finger hearts.
Really? Rat poison from clover? Huh.
That's what he's saying. The oils are the best part of the herb, is what Tony is saying. Or Tanya Tasker. That's an old Bible. The aerial parts, the leaves and flowers have similar actions to the cultivated garden variety, but are slightly more stimulating and effective at preventing spasms. They can also be taken for menstrual pain. You got to harvest before and during the flowering. And in that screenshot you may have got, it's going to tell you different ways to use the aerial parts and then the essential oil uses. The cautions: avoid the therapeutic doses of thyme and thyme oil in any form in pregnancy because the herb is a uterine stimulant. Thyme oil can irritate the mucous membranes, so always dilute it well. So that is your preparedness for thyme today. Your garden preparedness. One of the books that really what's the time? You got to get off here.
No, you were saying thyme, and I'm like...
Thyme. It's thyme. We're in Alabama. You got to realize it's different down here. It's different. You know what? I ain't wearing my Ready Wise hat today. They give me this hat. One of the things...
They have to send me something. Like, have Ready Wise send me something, and I'll promote them.
I will tell you, what I can tell you the best way to do it, go on, start talking to them. Just think, like I went on and just... You have? What did they say?
Oh, they follow me and stuff.
They did today.
I haven't really talked to them about doing any of that, though.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll talk to them. I'll say, I got this friend. She does social media. She builds 50,000 member accounts. And she's done it like 4 or 5 times. So y'all send her some food. Hey, you've been successful at building TikTok accounts and Clapper accounts and Facebook groups. The Facebook group is huge. I'm sorry, I got a phone call. If you want a good idea of what could happen right now, the James Wesley Rawls series, The Patriots. There's a number of books in this series, and they all give you a good idea of an economic collapse, which is essentially what we either are seeing happen or will happen. Miss Shields, good to see you.
I think we're seeing it. I think we're seeing it.
I believe so.
We just have the largest distribution of wealth in history. So when they closed everything down and they made you go to Walmart, what they did was they took the money out of your community and they gave it to the overlords, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a no-go for me. That's a big problem.
Let's see here. I saw. We're going to talk real quick about cordage, and we're going to come from the Bushcraft Field Guide to Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking in the Wild. But we're going to talk about cordage. It says your cordage should be a multiple ply so that it can be broken down to small enough fibers for sewing if needed, but strong enough to hold a ridge beam as well. And what they're suggesting here is not paracord. That's a good one. Thanks for the perfume, Amara, and thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the shares that are doing it. Said,
I love Amara. Guys,
Mara's great. Mara's great.
Person.
She's a gun-toting Muslim cook. I'm gonna tell you, I love watching her cooking. Yeah. I like her political videos.
So good.
Her
food looks so good.
She's crazy. She cracks me up. You can't beat a good Amara video. We love you too, Amara. Beyond, let's see, a number 36 tarred bank line is what is being recommended here. Now, if you want to see what tarred bank line looks like, a good brand to buy, you can go back in my videos. I've got some videos on tarred bank line. It's got like a lot of times has a 300-pound test. It's basically a trot line cord. It's coated in tar. It's abrasive proof. It is basically treated against ultraviolet rays. And number 36 is one of the best ones you're going to find as far as versatility. You can break it down, make sewing thread. You can, you can do anything with it. Now, paracord, I like paracord too, but you're going to have to know how to break paracord down to keep it from unraveling. I do that with a lighter, or you could do it with a charged stick. But cordage is...
I have concerns about tar, though. Doesn't tar dry and crack like a rubber would?
I've never had that issue with this this bank line. What I've seen is it is very... it's dried, but it's pliable, and it's very good against, like, if you're, let's say, fraying. Like, you got like a nylon cord, and like you start if it starts rubbing at some point, you're going to start seeing it fray out there. But I've not had that issue with this because of the treatment that's been done to the cordage.
So someone's in my comments and they're saying, wait, what did he say? Tar line or a tar bank line?
Tarred bank line. Number 36 tarred. Tarred. You can find it online. Just type in tarred bank line. There's different grades, but it's going to be number 36 is going to be your most versatile and useful. I'm not going to say don't have paracord, because I use paracord as a ridge line along with tarred bank line. I make prussics out of the tarred bank line. Mm-hmm. Land without looking weird. LOL. Trying to think what they're saying there.
So, Dennis, I've noticed that people who do that match thing, the fight, the battle thing, I don't even know what TikTok calls it, it actually helps with your ranking to get on the For You page so that people find your live.
You're wanting to take my money today, ain't you?
It's not about money. I think it actually helps get... Let's see if it actually makes the views go up. I'm at 7 right now.
All right, so we'll just keep redoing it. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. So when it comes to cordage, other things, large cotton bandanas or cloth, at least 36 by 36, roll of duct tape. I've got one. And my preferred one is really Mr. Canterbury's preferred one. And I'm going to say Gorilla Tape. I've got the 1-inch version. And then you got this. You've got bandages. You can make the H-shaped bandages in a hurry. You have got something to repair your tarps and your tents with. You've got a fire.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I've made Let me go get
some.
some.
Than duct tape.
I'll be back.
Like, it's so much thicker than duct tape. Like, if you have the money to get the Gorilla one, it's really good. It's super sticky, too. Oh, my numbers went up. I went up to 9. I had 7. I got 2 more now.
All right. So I got this Sasquatch that Vibrant V sent me. Y'all go give her a follow on Clapper. She sent me out a while back.
I can match you with an eagle. Hold on.
So if you like this here duct tape cup, let me see some likes in the some comments. Put rolls of duct tape up there if you can.
Yeah.
Let's get folks in here.
If you believe in freedom, if you believe in the freedom of the American people, you gotta come over here and.
This is my duct tape cup, and yes, it will hold water. It did last time. I don't know if there's been any aging issues. This is a fire starting cup. This is something I can probably boil water in as long as I don't get it too involved in the flame. Because if you can boil,
what? Fire starting? What do you mean?
Yeah, this stuff right here will light it up. You ain't never lit up. This is how you can light fires in the water. I mean, in the rain when there's a lot of moisture. You take it and roll it into tubes.
I had no idea. I did not know this.
Roll it into tubes that is as long as this, and you're going to put them in a triangle. You're going to light one end you're going to light the same end on each one. This end, that end, and that end. Yeah. And then as it burns in that triangle, you're going to have your smalls gathered. Thank y'all for the gifts. We're up to 17. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for sharing this out. Share this out. Let's get more folks in here. Let's get this knowledge out there. But
someone wants you to hold up the cover after you're done explaining this. They want you to hold up that cover again. Take a screenshot.
You'll have to flip it around. This is Dave Canterbury's The Bushcraft Field Guide to Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking. But any of his series in this Bushcraft 101 series are going to be great. But yeah, you make that triangle and you have your smalls. You get all your wood together because if you're making a fire in the rain, hey, Becky Caraway, it's good to see you in here. You make that triangle. That triangle is going to create a fire, like a heat vortex, and you're going to begin to put your smalls over top of it. It's going to dry it out, and then you're going to be able to burn that, and then you're going to use what you've got. Making a fire in the rain is going to be hard. Thank y'all for getting us up to 20. Keep sharing this out. I've done a lot of bushcraft, Nowhere Ranch. I've done a lot out in the woods. I've started a lot of fires. I've done a lot of shelter building. It's been one of them things in the last year that I've progressed in, but I'm willing to say I don't know everything about it. I do promote it because I feel like it's part of the system of preparedness. Now, and I really like duct tape too. So one way or another, better have you some duct tape. But as you...
Did you ever see the episode of It's Not How It's Made? What was the one where the scientists would go and they would like test everything? They would get like a theory. And they would test
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters episode about duct tape is so entertaining because they made so many different things with just duct tape. Duct tape. Boats, all kinds of stuff.
Now, I'm not telling everybody to go out and just use your duct tape to make a cup like this. I just want to see if I could do it. I was bored. I had a roll of duct tape. This is not Gorilla brand. This is just like a good duct tape. But yeah, I got this. Huh?
I don't know. There's like a little yellow guy on my screen that's going back and forth.
Oh, I lost.
Oh, victory lap.
Oh. We'll do the rematch.
I beat you.
Yeah, I'm not really worried. If y'all don't got the money to give me, you know, we're just trying to get more people involved. So
yeah, no, I heard that it goes out to the For You page more often if you have a battle, and it's more likely to suck people into your live if they do see that you're doing battles. So
yeah, and Nowhere Ranch, that's my go-to. Prepper Nation. I didn't know he was in here.
Wow.
Prepper Nation always making fun of me on my show.
Wasilla, Alaska sells more duct tape per capita than anywhere in the world. Interesting.
Now, Prepper Nation's a good friend of the show.
Mara.
I like to aggravate him by always making fun of me on my show. That's going to be a thing now. Oh, he's making fun of me on my show.
Right.
But Nowhere Ranch, I plan to bug in too. He makes fun of me on my show. Always making fun of me on my show. No, not really. He's a good friend of the show. He comes in, brings a lot of good knowledge. He tests my theories. I try to test his, but mainly him testing mine. Nowhere Ranch is they're bringing in a lot of good points. The bugging out, I don't want to bug out. I want to be prepared to if I have to, but I'm going to mainly bug in. Bushcraft is going to be part of it because a lot of that will come into play with hunting camps. Certain areas is going to have more areas where I can do small game hunting or areas where I'm going to be fishing. Here you go, buddy. Prepper Nation said if that's a duct tape cup, I will make fun of that. Make fun of why. I'm proud of this. Proud of this duct tape cup. It'll hold
Bye,
water.
honey. See you later.
And it'll start a fire. But yeah, those are some of the things you want to have.
I got deleted. I got deleted at 50K.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to you, someone in my comments.
Yes,
asking where my account went. Everyone is still slowly figuring out that my 50K account got deleted. I got to 50K and boom, I was deleted.
He's telling.
That was it.
Let me get the dust out of this thing. Prepper Nation's saying drink out of it.
Amara, you've been around long enough to know why. I have a big mouth and I have no
Y'all know why
sense of
she
it
got
whatsoever.
banned?
And I'm too clever. I find too many videos that they try to ban and block and hide, and then I expose them, and then I'm like, poof, shut down.
She been on DuckDuckGo, getting all the stuff they don't want out there, putting it on there. What you need is a separate account to put all your conspiracies on, and then you can send people over for your conspiracy content.
They're a part of me. They're just a part of me. It's not DuckDuckGo. So there's this website, guys, that is really, really useful, right? It's like, I think it's like archives.org, but I want you guys to type in Wayback Machine. So the Wayback Machine, you can put in a certain website and then a date, and it'll show you what that website used to look like. So if anyone had tampered with it or changed any information on there,
it's leaking a little bit.
it that way.
No, it's not as bad as it did better when I first made it.
No, that's a fail. That's a fail, Dennis.
Oh, it didn't do this when I first made it, but it's holding a lot of water in there, trust me. It's failing now. It's been sitting there for a year. Lord, give me some credit.
as the chair's getting soaked, the floor's getting soaked.
Y'all making fun of me on my own show. No. Yeah, it used to hold water, but it's obviously sat there and dried, and the glue's dried. It's not meant to be a long-term thing. But when I made it, I carried it over to some of my buddies, and we filled it up with water, and they were just getting a kick out of that. It was just, that's all it was, just something to have fun with. I was bored.
It's good though. It's good though, because if you have your bug out bag and you forgot a cup, now you know that you can actually make a cup. And don't make it like Dennis.
Well,
apparently his skills are lacking a little bit, but I do believe that the cups actually work.
Yeah, it did when I first made it. No lie, it worked. But it's been sitting there a long time, and so there's no telling what happens. Hey, Angela, no, good to see you. There's no telling what's going to happen over time. So one of the main things that I do want to say about duct tape, we just want to show you the versatility of it. When you get bored easy like I do, you're going to learn to do some things. I mean, but this has so many applications. So and I like Gorilla Tape simply because of just how dependable it is. Oh, no, she beat me again. Again, I'm not in this for the money. I'm not asking you to send me no money. But we're just trying to get pushed out to the For You page. We're going to rematch. We're just going to keep rematching.
Is it Danny today or is it Denny today? Danny or Denny?
My wife's telling me to go get her taxes filed today, and I don't.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to H&R Block. It's gonna be the easiest thing. I'm insured through them.
I did mine with anxiety this year. So I do it
because of Clapper.
I do my own. And this year was like, oh my gosh, if I screw this up, because all the stuff that they want to do with the government and all the weird checks that we got this year, the stimulus checks and all that kind of stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never doing this again.
I'm just gonna go to H&R Block and let them have at it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and I'm going to just let them deal with it. People really want to protest, stop paying taxes. Definitely, that's a good protest. Well, unfortunately, they've already got my money.
But then they put your house up for a sheriff's sale.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Oh, you quit paying your taxes for a while?
Not on purpose. I got 83 cents in my account right now. No joke. 83 cents.
We're broke. We're all broke. Everybody's broke.
That's how bad it is right now for us.
Well,
but, next paycheck will be all right.
It's better than the trucker convoys.
I think it's like 80% of America lives paycheck to paycheck.
Tanya Tasker come in and just shot me up to 28. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you for the popcorn.
I hear you, Tanya. Those are fighting words.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank you. Somebody shot you up to 32. We thank y'all for helping out with that. Lorraine Sherwood, thanks for coming in. But yeah, that's the having that cordage, having things to use. That's been one of the main things that I've been doing. Now taxes, they got my taxes, they got my money. I'm up to 76. Somebody who done it? Tanya Tasker keeps throwing popcorns and pluses. So I'm up to.
How dare you?
There we go.
Tanya is, but she's about to square up. Let's go.
Nowhere Ranch says, whose fault is it that 80% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck? Hey, thanks for the ski goggles. I think he did that. Just make fun of me on my own show. But yeah.
You can play by clicking the screen, or you can play by giving gifts. You don't have to give me gifts, but I think clicking the screen also can help with that. Yeah. But that also helps to share our live out. So It's really, that's why we're doing it. We want more people to hear this information that is really helpful, in a bad situation. Just the little tips and tricks. I mean, they really help.
Yeah.
They really do.
That's the main thing.
I'm sure like 278.
Yeah, I just seen that. They're sending likes. They're throwing ski goggles at me. I think that was Prepper Nation got me that. Thanks for them ski goggles, buddy. Big Daddy Prep's in here.
Now. I don't have a far way to go, but I'm gonna go cry.
You want 2 of them? I get the 3rd.
Instead of
this time. I got some kind of paper crane thing. That's good. That sent me up to 377. Big Daddy Prep came in. It's good to see you, bud. One of the things I posted today, we were talking about some of what the Russians were doing. I talked about it at the beginning. They say basically Putin just does not see NATO as a threat. Like they do not care.
I'm hearing from people in Russia who are making videos, and they're saying that it is the United States that's that's pushing out the propaganda that is initiating all of this conflict, which I don't doubt that, because look at what they're doing here. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that too. It's like you hear that we're going to war, but then you hear people like that's in Ukraine saying, what the heck's going on? There's nothing happening over here. And it's almost akin to the stuff that happened in the election where a certain president, oh, Lord, she's up to 37. She got her a ski hat. Yeah, there you go. Well, thank y'all for the likes. I got a rose. Thank y'all for the rose, Tanya Tasker. But they were, Tiger Nicky, good to see you in here. They were basically saying that, hey, P-Bone, good to see you, bud. They were saying that basically, the Russian bots done this, yada, yada, yada. So it's like that same thing they're doing again. And they're going to call the Russian bot.
Think about it.
Oh, thank you, Amara.
Prepper Nation saying, think about it. We're against the blue hats as well. NATO is garbage. So, yeah. Oh, I got a heart from Prepper Nation. 481. I won. I finally won one.
I was just about to get, I just got over yours, and
So we're rematching. Oh.
Darn.
But the main thing.
You guys can do that and disappoint me like that. I was just about to beat him.
Kyle Campbell, good to see you in here. One of the main things I'm looking at, it's like the propaganda machine has been just going off the rails for years now.
Oh, yeah.
People are finally getting to a point where they're just like, I don't even watch the news. And that's kind of where I got to.
No.
I just prepare. I mean, we're there. There's no reason for me to worry about the news anymore. And I know things are bad. I used to watch it to kind of get an idea of when things are going to get bad, when things are going to hit, but it's already hit. It is getting bad. And I'm just like, thank y'all for the likes, Tiger Nikki. And I'm your did I say I'm your tackleberry? Thank you. I think it was, I might have confused it. I'm your tackleberry or huckleberry. Oh, Prepper Nation's getting me up there. Prepper Nation, thank you, my friend. I might have to go into one of his lives and hit him up, but help him out. But yeah, he like what I read in this book, in this series years ago. I'm rereading it. The 60-foot gorilla. Go give him a follow, folks. He sent me this, and he said, I'm going to send it to you. I want you to read it.
I gotta pull in the big guns. I gotta pull in the adorable animals to try to get.
Oh, my gosh. You just don't know, do you?
It's my baby right here. This is Babs, baby Bubba. And she talks to me, right, Bubba? Hey, Bubba?
All right. You want to bring a cute cat in here. I've got Mr. Shotgun.
Oh.
Shotgun.
That's not fair.
He's like, I don't know what you're doing to me. Something's happening. I think my phone's about to die on Clapper. It's went dim on me. I'm going to have to hook it up. We got a puppy.
Beautiful model.
We got a puppy. He's a white lab. He's actually doing very well.
Me?
He's doing very well right now with his potty training. He's not liking this.
She screams at me all day long.
Who
If I don't
screams
pay
at
attention
you?
to this cat, she screams at me.
Sit down, buddy. Let me hook up my charge cord. Clapper's fixing to go offline if I don't. Oh, Lord, there we go.
But puppies win.
Prepper Nation's saying he's going to snipe you so bad.
Thank you.
That somebody shot her up to 500.
Draw D, I don't think I've ever been at a 500. I don't even know if I've gotten out of the 200s. Thank you so much.
We're at a 5% here.
I have two puppies. They're big. They're very big puppies.
I got Gracie. She looks sad enough. I think that even the worst troll would probably send her some likes, but I don't know where she's at right now. She wanders the neighborhood in the woods, climbs onto UPS trucks, and goes to see folks. Thank you, Tiger Nikki. Thank you, Tanya Tasker. We're just seeing some things happen here. I ain't never thought maybe we're gonna have to do these more often.
I have real dogs. I don't have pocket-sized dogs. I've got some real ones that
You don't want me to break out the German Shepherd. You don't want me to break out Gracie. Gracie's little. She's mid-sized. Gracie comes jumping out the pocket. I think she'd scare anybody. I've watched her scare off big dogs, big pit bulls before, over the kids at least. But yeah, we're seeing that collapse. I got some kind of beaver. I got a beaver popped up there. Sent me to see.
A beaver? What?
I got a beaver. I didn't know I had a beaver. So I didn't know they'd give out beavers. It was a cartoon beaver that popped up. Looks a lot like the ones I had on the, you remember Fire of the Motion Picture? When I did that, the beavers were sitting there at the river, little cartoon beavers. You didn't watch my Fire of the Motion?
That's when you got real creative.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you can write a child's book.
Y'all didn't see me for a couple weeks. I was spending every evening working on that. If you want a good tutorial for your kids to learn, the ones on Clapper are better because they got the original music from Canva. If you want a good way to teach your children fire, the process of building fire, you can go to Clapper. You're going to have to go way down in there, but find Fire of the Motion Picture. Let them watch that. I've got a cool intro, a cool outro. We've got all kinds. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the help. Oh, Lord, she's up to 947. We're at 6. Whoa, 1864. I got balloons. I got a train. Thank you, Prepper Nation.
No, he can't win.
I wasn't expecting to do anything.
Like, I'm definitely winning this round.
We're going to hit rematch. This is getting it out, and I do thank y'all for the likes. I will try to, I don't think I'll ever be able to get up to $100 and be able to pull it out of here. But we'll, if we do, we'll try and do something for the gifters that come into these lives and the ones that share. I always try to put that back into what we're doing here. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you now, I had a company contact me. They are an online company, and they're wanting me to do some, I guess, some reviews on their equipment. They're going to be sending me a picnic backpack because, we do a lot of hiking. So, I've had a lot of companies wanting to do reviews. I'm like, I'm just a little 30,000, account. But these things, and it just gives me encouragement. The Lord's working to help with that.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing the best we can, with this little 30,000 following account and 140,000 on Clapper and the website.
But completely butchered. My peeling ability.
So are you doing blogs on the Victory Garden Revival site?
I do have the Victory blog.
Okay.
See, I'm.
You got a hat.
I'm an unscheduled
Thanks, Tanya.
person.
We'll see.
So sometimes I completely forget that I even have a blog until I'm like, ooh, maybe I should blog this, and then it goes to people's emails, know?
Yeah, do go on there and set up your subscription thing on your website. You can hook up your YouTube lives to the websites through GoDaddy, and they'll people can subscribe to your YouTube lives or Twitch, I think, or Tumblr. So, and then Haps.
We're going to need a meeting. We're going to need a one-on-one meeting.
Well, this is it right now. This is how I'm going to help.
You've gone past my level of knowledge at this point.
When you've
been binging everything.
When you go on to your GoDaddy site, you're gonna, you go to your website and marketing. You go in products and you go to website marketing, and then you're gonna go when it pulls up your dashboard for publishing your website. You're gonna go over to content, and then you're gonna add something to it, and it gives you options for HTMLs to post your links to different websites. When you go to add something, you're gonna add. It's gonna say live stream. Oh Lord, it's gonna be live stream. Lord, I keep getting these phone calls. Lord, you're going to go.
Spider web, that was cool.
Yeah, you're going to win this one, looks like. Some of the big gifters, they're tired of these matches. But again, we're just trying to get these out, and we will do our best to reinvest that in to what we're doing here, and we will try to we'll do our best to put that towards content. Superman, good to see you back, buddy.
All the money that I get goes towards paying for my website, paying for the apps that I use to make my content. Yeah. Like it goes back into this, or like buying ring lights or buying equipment. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys.
So what I do with it a lot of times, like I got the Canva, I use it towards that. I buy the gear, I do reviews. That way a lot of folks can look and see if they want to buy this stuff. Some of them are fails, some of them are not. Also, I go and I put that towards the animals. I've bought feed before. I've bought things to upgrade what we do with the animals. But yeah, if you want to put the link for the website, like where they subscribe automatically, the pop-up link, you can just, when you go into your dashboard, hit that button, hit that red button, it'll have the pop-up thing. You can put URL codes in there. You can put the links. I'm
going to have to learn more about how to use all the features in the GoDaddy, because we are making wooden seed boxes, and I don't know if you guys have seen these yet. I have videos on my Clapper account with them, but my husband's a woodworker, and there's like an option for a store on my website, and I don't know how to use it yet.
It's not hard.
Eventually we'll be doing that.
Just tap it. GoDaddy will walk you through it. If you're on here and you are a prepper, you're wanting to create a blog, you're wanting to do it, but let's say you don't want to do it at all, and you want to be a contributor to my blog. You just want to write some articles, and you're wanting to get.
Someone just bought my merch.
They bought your merch? Heck yeah!
Someone bought my merch.
I'm thinking about
the third person ever.
Whoa! I got popped up to 200 real quick.
Thank you.
I got popped up to 208. Whoa! I got a mason jar. I hit 1488. Thank y'all. Thanks, as Fireflies. Thank you, Prepper Nation. He's got real smart on this one. I think he's waiting to the end and he's popping it up. This is exciting. I've never got that. But one of the things I've been thinking about doing. What do you think about me selling fat wood? You know, the fire starter fat wood, the pine tree. Yeah, in a bundle. I mean, some folks don't know what to look for. Some people want to they don't have the time to go do the work. So I'll just, there you go. You can get that idea of what you're doing, get started. Thought about that. And then, Derek Who, do you know Derek Who on, Clapper? So they've sent me the Who, I'm going to call it the Who knife. I've done some reviews. I'm going to be posting it on Clapper. So if you want to see this knife, I take it apart, I baton it, I feather a stick, the best I can feather a stick with it. I do ferrocerum strikes with it. And yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Missed. And then
so,
Moster.
Amara, I am on Glitch Miami, but I haven't used it.
Yeah, I've posted it, but it's been a while.
I'm one of the top creators on there because it's a brand new app. So like we're all going to be verified content creators over on that app. But that app it's just starting out past couple of months.
Hey,
so
Papa,
it's
it's
growing.
good to see you, bud. One thing I'll say, if I got 30 diamonds over here on Clapper and I didn't even know it. Thank y'all.
No.
One thing I'm going to tell y'all, hey, Prepper Nation. Oh, wait a minute. I thought that was somebody else. It's Prepper Nation. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking somebody else was coming on here. That's crazy. I'm getting crazy over here trying to keep up with 3 things. Y'all pray for me down here in Alabama. Whoa, I got a chicken leg.
Too many camera angles. I mean, I'm imagining that YouTube is looking at the side of your head right now.
There probably are. I look over every once in a while, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. But I see that a lot with podcasts, so I'm thinking maybe I'm all right. But what I'm going to say is if you're political, if you got political views that get you bananaed, certain person in here I'm really trying to help you because you're helping me right now. Glitch.Miami. Go there. It's almost impossible to get bananaed on there. Thanks for that cloud bread and that chicken leg or Prepper Nation. But go there. You won't get bananaed as a content creator. You can re-upload your TikTok videos. Toll Furious, one of our buddies from Clapper, he got banned from Clapper, of all places, because they went to the Capitol on January 6th. He has started his own digital website. Anything goes as long as it's not like unlawful.
No violence, no threats, no anything.
7 American Captain,
your
thanks for the
opinions are okay.
Yeah, your opinions are okay. Your political, it's mainly conservative. So if you need an outlet where you won't get bananaed, there you go. Glitch.Miami.
I have to say that their whole setup is actually really promising looking. Like it's
not glitchy.
Good looking site.
That their servers are in I think Norway. Am I wrong?
Is that word?
That's what I heard in the beginning. So what you're going to see is when you go in there, you've got a lot of Clapper creators. You've got people from different areas that have been basically banned and bananaed and kicked out of other sites. So OG Pawpaw says they need radios on there. So that may be a thing. But one thing I've seen, I can upload most things. I don't have as many glitchy issues like I had in the beginning when Clapper was starting. So they got one up there, but I'm going to keep uploading on Clapper. I'm going to keep uploading here. I got to figure out how to keep up with all of it. It's just a matter of timing because working.
That's the thing.
Different schedules.
To find that balance between supporting your friends and watching their videos.
Yeah.
And creating content, which takes longer than most people would think to make a video. It's a 1 minute video or a 3 minute video, but It takes a lot longer than you would think to edit all the stuff that we do.
See, I try to supplement with different things, but when I go to make the real like bushcrafting, bugging out content that is mainly on there for those folks that are from cities, that are from urban areas, that just don't know, but they're just now seeing it. That stuff, like going out there and setting up, like the kids still are learning to set things up. So when I'm posting videos from the winter camps, hey, I'm setting all that up by myself. The older son puts it up, but he's still learning to set ridge lines. He's still learning to get himself together. Thank y'all for the gifts. We're about to hit the end. I think this will be the last time we do the battle today.
I won. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to win every battle. And then you guys were like, nope, we chose Denny over Danny today. So.
Well, it wasn't no competition. And the way it goes, hey, we're all in this together trying to get something just fell. I don't know what.
It's fun, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's really cool.
Everybody has a good time. Again, those of you that are doing this, I'm going to do my best to try and get in there and help support y'all as I can. I'm going to do my best to get in there and try to put this back into content. So,
Yes, me
any
too.
closing thoughts? Because I'm about wore out and I gotta go. Nature's calling. So we're just gonna say it like that.
Closing thoughts. I would say just pay attention to the H1N1 thing with the birds, because they are going to go around and try to, kill everybody's chickens for that. Secure your animals, secure your birds if you can hide them. But
grow a garden.
Definitely pay attention to that.
Brian Wagg's bringing up grow a garden. That's Danny's big thing is victory gardens.
Victory gardens. If you guys want to see a bunch of history, I worked really hard on my website. So the history of like famines, things that have happened in the past. I have YouTube videos that you guys can watch that are all about shortages that happened in the past. All about the victory gardens of World War II. If you guys don't know what that is, it was a campaign that was put out by the U.S. government to encourage people to grow gardens and to own chickens, and it fed 43% of the United States population. I believe that we can do it again, but we got to pull together.
David Porterfield, good to see you. But one thing I'm going to say this with you, I want to help you get monetized because you do a lot of work, and so far I've only seen you be monetized on Clapper for what you're doing. So the thing is, you've got the website. That's the main thing, is having a website to be able to promote the links like you would have on ShareSale. You've got the following on Clapper to probably get in on ShareSale, because I had less than that when I started with ShareSale. I got OLI, probably when I had 30 or 40,000. So what the main thing is that I've seen them look for is instructional content that people will keep coming back to. Now, you do great on the advertising, but we talked about it before. You're going to have to start getting some good gardening content on there as far as.
See, that's how I started. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stop you there, because in the beginning, right from the start, and my good friends here over my comments that have been here for the whole 2 years, they watched me go from just gardening content and informational content to, wait a second, there's something really major going on here, and I need to get this other information out. This was never about making money for me, and it's still not about making money for me.
I understand
People
that.
monetize me on Clapper because they want to support me, but I've never asked for money. I didn't really want to get in with sponsors and things like that, because then I'll feel that what I have to say is going to reflect on their company.
Yeah.
I like to be in control of my own content.
And I understand that.
So.
But what I'm saying,
that's just how I am.
A lot of times you seem interested in the things that's happening, like, hey, tell them, call. So I will say is the instructional stuff would be good to have on there. I might can talk with these, and I don't care about the political stuff, as far as you do that, that's your thing. But what I am saying is the monetization will help you reach more people. So why I told you have your site for your political stuff, your conspiracy stuff, and then have the main site teaching people, not just getting things out there, but teaching folks, because then it'll be easier for me to get people to send you products. It'll be easier for people to find you too. Some of them won't ask nothing from you.
What my job is, and this has been my headline since 2020. My job is to encourage the world to grow food now and pay attention to the food supply. So what I do is I use my genuine personality, things that I'm interested in, things that I like to do, and meet people on their level with things that they're interested in. Because not everybody's interested in preparedness. They're not interested in gardening, right? So I grab those people who are paying attention to other things and I pull them in and I say, hey, you should go follow this person or go follow that person and those people are the instructional people. So I'm kind of more of informational networking.
Yeah.
I find the farmer that you need to talk to. I find you the gardeners that you need to talk to. So it's more about sharing the information for me.
Okay. So one of the things I guess we'll start doing when you come in here, because I want you to get some benefit out of what you're doing. We'll do these battles, and what happens in there, if people like what you're doing, that will help you with funding it. And
Canadian police chief just resigned. Someone said.
Who did? Who resigned?
The Canadian police chief just resigned.
Dang. So he don't want to be a part of this.
That's a big political statement, because if the chief resigns, that makes it likely that the police officers will also resign. So that
also tells you also. Now, Brian Wagman's put some good info down here, folks. One of the things that also does is it tells you what they're fixing to try and do. That tells you where they're fixing to go. Our government's already got Homeland Security out there with hundreds of people fixing to try and stop our truckers from protesting. And then you've got people encouraging folks to go slash their tires, which I like to see how good they're going to help themselves doing stupid crap like that, because the truck's stuck.
How are we going to pull the trucks out if all the tires are slashed?
18-wheeler with 18 tires slashed. So one of the things too, Danny, have you talked to people about being contributors, or with you having the site you have you talked to people about maybe they, like, you know how you've allowed me to come in on Victory Garden Revival's Facebook? You've got a lot of eyes there. And a lot of people do this on Instagram. And again, this is if you want to. Have you looked at maybe having a certain set of rules for people to opt in to, like Brian Wagg's got a lot of great info. And Nowhere Ranch has tons of great info. So have you looked at like folks like them that are trying to grow their accounts in the beginning to come there, get eyes on their content and share and maybe a small, like you may not even have a set fee, just like if you want to throw a couple, kind of like church, you want to throw a little bit in the bucket to help this, you can.
I do have a donation button. I do have a donation button on my website. My problem is I'm so humble that I don't ask anyone for any help.
That's always the struggle,
ain't it? It's detrimental to everything, but people know, like people who have following me for a long time, I have a lot of faith, and this is a faith thing for me. I'm doing this because God told me, he put me on this mission to do this, and I don't like asking other people for help. The donation buttons exist, but I've never even pushed my merch. When do you see me go, hey, I have merchandise, why don't you go buy it?
Yeah, hey, we got shirts on Cast29.com. Go buy it if you want to get a shirt. Go buy it. No, but here's the thing. Maybe God put us together for me to help you with that.
Go into it, I guess. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me.
Maybe God has sent me along to kind of help you with that, because if you don't feel right doing it, maybe he's going to send folks along to help you. Now, I'm not saying people got to do this. I'm saying if you feel a need, a leading to go help, or you like what she's doing, it costs money. So I do want people to understand that.
It does.
A lot of folks get aggravated with churches taking up collection plates. I'm like, hey, somebody's got to pay the light bill, or you're going to be in there in the dark. Now, if you think a church don't need lights, then good, bring some candles to help them out. But I will say this. I'm not asking you for money, but if you feel that, hey, all these people that was given, I thank you for that, because I use that to help others. I'm not trying.
Any money that I get goes back into this cause.
I'm working.
It doesn't go towards my bills. It goes towards this cause.
Yeah. I'm trying to work towards where I can do this full time. I'll tell you that. I'm having issues with this phone. It's wanting to shut down. I've got it charging. I I would like to do this full time because I enjoy it. If I could monetize it, I would. But if the Lord don't open that up, He don't open that up. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep going in and working at the sheetrock factory, making y'all some sheetrock, keep your house as fireproof as possible and warm. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep doing my best to help at church. And I'm going to keep preaching the word. But if I can help somebody that's a good creator like her, I'm going to do it. If you want to be a part of that and help, I'm going to say, hey, come on and help me. I'm not asking you to buy a bunch of junk knickknacks. That becomes a big thing. I'm asking you to buy stuff that I believe in. It may be better than what I have out there. I say go get it. But what I'm saying is this helps us, ReadyWise. They have sent me products. They have helped me in what I'm doing. So I'm going to promote them. It's not bad food.
You're going to make me cry because I was recently given a message saying that God was going to send me people who were going to help. And I feel it right now. It's welling up in my eyes. I feel it.
Bear. Good to see you. Well, we're going to do the best we can because you've helped me learn a lot. You've given me good advice. Kind of like Sherry did in the beginning. I've always tried to be, when everybody had their problems with Sherry that were in my friend circle, like they knew not to come to me. And I'm not going to say, go any more into the detail of who that is because some people know who it is, some people ain't. But Sherry helped me, and by dang, if they're going to fool with her on Clapper, most of the time I'm going to come in and say something, and I'm going to tell them to shut their mouth. And I did that a couple of times in some radios. But you're one of those that's got in there and willingly helped. Hey, Doomsday Podcast, good to see you, bud. We're trying to encourage people to help Danny. She won't ask people to help her, but we're telling people go in there and donate to Danny, help Danny out. We're going to do these battles to help Danny supplement her content.
Raylano's over here love bombing me right now.
Love bomber.
Thank you so much.
If you're in here and you want to help Danny, she helps promote us basically freely. We don't have to. We never had to ask her. I never had to ask her. She's like, go over to Dennis Bunch. Go over to S29. He'll tell you he's an expert, and I'm gonna tell you I'm not an expert. I'm just a redneck guy trying to figure it out.
And I've run my whole life like this. I think I belong in Tennessee because I'm a volunteer. Yeah. Everything I've ever done in my life has been volunteer.
Thanks for the life,
buddy. I don't ever ask anybody for anything. I never ask for help. I'm constantly helping people link up with the information. Like there was Jackie Tourette's. You guys may know him from Clapper. He came on here and he was crying. He was all kinds of crying about.
Got her some sunglasses. Did you see what just happened? You got sunglasses.
The glasses.
Now you got goggles too. They're
Thank
gifts.
You so much, Ray.
They come up on the screen. Y'all, thank y'all for helping her.
He was going to lose his job. Him and his wife were going to lose their jobs because they wouldn't get this because of their religious views. Yeah. And he was so distraught. And I was like, I can help you. And I did. I helped him get a religious exemption. I helped him, and he's so thankful for it. Like my mission is to make true, genuine connections.
Go give her some likes, folks. Go give her some gifts. They just keep giving you. There you go. This is a Danny fundraiser. I'm helping her out.
Wants me to cry.
She won't ask for help. She don't feel led to do it. I've seen a lot of folks like this before. She willingly, openly helps promote us Prep Talk. So, hey, you want some promotion, get over here and give her some likes. She'll be promoting you. Keep you a list of them.
I can make logos. I can make
selling
images.
logos.
I can turn you into a cartoon and make you ride on a spaceship. Like, I can
Did
do
that
all
for me.
that kind of stuff. So just message me if you guys need help with that.
She's the best publicist I've ever had. Yeah. She come in with her chicken, wringing his neck out, giving him whiplash, and we've been friends ever since. I'm actually going to be making a trip to PA here at some point to pay my respects to that poor rooster in her backyard where she's got. I'm not really. I'm joking, Danny. I'm talking about I'm going. I was saying I was going to.
I heard the PA thing, but then I got distracted because Ray keeps putting glasses on my face.
Thank you, Ray. Well, I was saying I was going to come up there to the graveside of that rooster and pay my respects for all he's done for us. He didn't know he was.
Oh my God!
When she got him from Tractor Supply.
Hen for one. It was not a rooster. And the footage was sped up. I wasn't giving the chicken whiplash.
When they got him in Tractor Supply, he had no idea that was going to be his life story.
For chicken promotion, for people to have access to food, I made a video where I put on a whole bunch of different outfits, right? And I had my chicken with me, and it was like a chicken runway show. It was like a chicken runway show with all different kinds of outfits to promote, like, all different walks of life can live off of chicken protein, right?
Yeah.
And I sped it up. And Dennis called me out on it. He's like, that chicken's going to get whiplash.
Now, if you ever hear me make these comments in the lives, no, I'm joking with Danny. It's something I've picked at her with for time. We've been good friends for a while. She like one of my sisters over. I ain't never had a sister, so luckily the Lord sent along me a good sister over here. And she has been one of the best publicists I've ever had. She's like, go follow Dennis Bunch. He's going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do my best too. Now, I always do your due diligence because I might steer you wrong. I've had some good folks come in here and help me with that. But yeah, go help old Danny out. She can do your logos. If you are a beginning creator and you want to get a step above, if you see that logo I got up there, that's one of the ones she's made. So go help her out. She is a digital artist. She's taught me things. And if you want to get some promotion, hey, you got some good info, write her up a blog and send it to her. And she posts that on her website. There you go. And then that's going to draw people to her website, to her donation button, and that'll help her be able to fund what she's doing. Because, again, if you're a content creator,
thank you so much for everything.
Doomsday Podcast can probably tell you this. There are costs when you're doing this. There are costs. And I'm not saying you got to give a lot. I'm not begging you for money. I'm just saying there are costs. And if you want to help that get out there, you can. Our friend Danny won't ask for it, so we're asking for it for her. Thank y'all that gave her glasses and goggles. So I'm on.
My heart is bursting out of my eyeballs right now.
There you go, sis. We helped you out.
Thank you.
I'm going to probably end this because I can hold it no longer. We're just going to say it like that. I'm fixing to have to end this. We've been on for probably close to 2 hours. We thank you. We thank y'all that have come in. We thank y'all that have gifted. We thank you for the likes. We thank you for the shares. We thank you for viewing. We thank you for your comments. Thank every one of y'all. We're going to have the recap up on YouTube. If you want to go watch the full show, we got comedy, we got information, we got news, we got all kinds. We got trolls sometimes come in here. We got people that come in and correct us, to give us good information so you can get good information in our comments. And we welcome that because I want you to get the right information. I'm willing to say I don't know it all, and I'll try to get that info out there with you if you come in and you're respectful. These guys were respectful, and they started teaching us a lot about farming. We're also going to tell you some things you're not going to hear on your local news or your news. We're going to be talking to people that are on the ground in these areas, like my buddy Walker Staggs. He's giving us a trucker news. Danny's giving us, she's been on the forum. She's telling you about the trucker protests. We're going to do our best to give you...
Pennsylvania, let's go. Yeah. Pennsylvania, let's go.
We're going to be giving you the best information on both sides. With Russia, it's either propaganda or we're about to go to war. We don't know. There are two sides to this out there. And we're going to do our best. So you can go watch the recap. You can share the recap. That's the best thing I can ask you to do to support what we're doing. Go to YouTube, Cast29 Cows for Fairness. You can go through our link in the bio. You can watch the recap. It's not going to have Danny's face, but you'll be able to hear her here because we're going through apps. You can go to Twitter. You can go to Facebook. You can share that out. Get people following, and that'll help push it out on YouTube. And these podcasts these multicast that I'm doing will get info out there to people and get interest stirred up. So if you're looking to help people prep, hey, help us share this out. We thank y'all.
Dennis, I wanted to let you know that I am set up for Haps app to podcast. I have a microphone. I have everything that I need to do because I had that podcast. I had the Midnight Farmers podcast in the past. So the Haps thing, I don't know if that's like a great thing to go through, but
it's working out pretty well. I had a few issues, but we're working on that. I keep looking into the Instagram. They're working on getting Instagram live. They're saying you can go live on TikTok if you activate the desktop functions. When I asked them about that, they're very good to respond. So if you are a podcaster, I know Doomsday Podcast, if he's still in here, this may be something you want to look at, go to Haps. They have an app now. They used to be just a website, but now they have an app. I have pretty good. I have a pretty good setup here. You can connect your Twitter, your Twitch, your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, and it will also keep a log on that site itself. I think you can have up to 9 guests on there through Haps, and it'll go out to all your social.
That would be. I already have people in mind for that kind of thing.
So
Absolutely.
you can have. So this is.
Doomsday Podcast, and what's it called again?
Haps. The Haps app. HAPP.
HAPPS.
Type it into your app store or your Google Play, and it'll pull it up. It's purple with a wide H, like a real wide one. And if you Doomsday, I could take you to all your social at once while you're doing your podcast for Podbean, and then you can just go on there and screen record clips or do it through your computer. You could do it here on TikTok as well as all these other apps if you've got your desktop set up for it. I don't know the details, but you can talk to them, and they are very good to work with you. So if you're a content creator, I'm giving you some help here on how to get your stuff out there. They may get me on TikTok because you're not supposed to do this to some degree. I'm not sure what they look at as help. But if you're wanting to create a website, you can go to my GoDaddy site, tap that GoDaddy link. It'll take you there. I don't get nothing from that, I don't think, but GoDaddy has that there for the free site. So go there. They'll walk you step through step how to make a website. Then you can go through Share Sale once you get your website and apply and tell them your followings, tell them your plans to promote certain programs. You can sign up as an affiliate, and then you can apply to different different stores and companies programs, and then they'll decide. Now I was auto approved for ViperTech. They're like one of the easiest. Auto approved for BattleBox. It was like I didn't even have to wait on there. So
I can't even get approved for AdSense. I got approved for AdSense to put ads on my website so that I can make a little bit of money if someone goes to my website. And I can't even get that to work.
Oh, I can't get that.
I put it in there. It'll work for a day. I'll get like 20 cents, and then they cut it. And I think it's because I'm promoting people to grow their own food. Because I've had a problem ever since I started telling people to grow their own food on Facebook. And this is before I got political, guys. This is why I get so angry with the politics and stuff, because even when I was just telling people to garden, to grow their food, to try to prevent the food supply issues, I was still being block censored and banned all over the place before any of that. So
they don't want you. Yeah. When you are a promoter of self-reliance, the politicians and the corporations do not want you to be self-reliant. They're hand in hand. Yeah. Now, I'm for capitalism. But I do not care for corporations because that's not small business. That's not one person making a living. That's a bunch of folks that's a hierarchy, and a lot of them folks they pick who they want to be in that position, who they like, no matter if they're qualified or not, and they put them there. And so I don't like.
No, it happened locally.
Yeah.
So I made flyers to pass out around town for everybody to start a garden. That it was going to be like, you just do it in your own time. Like, no one has to lead you. Everybody just does a garden together, right? I put that on the pegboard in the grocery store. They actually took the pegboard down. That pegboard had been in that grocery store for like anyone to put up whatever information for the past 15, 16 years that I've lived here. The second I put my flyer on that pegboard, no more pegboard. They took the whole pegboard off the wall.
Dang. Nowhere Ranch is talking about I'm moving towards a trade share economy. I think I've got an idea what that is. Can anybody explain that in good detail, trade share economy?
Trade share economy. Are you talking like trade and barter? Is that what you're meaning? Or are you talking like trade and share, like World Economic wants to drop a drone off if you want a toaster for like 15 minutes? Because those are two different things.
I'm not. She's talking about trading and sharing amongst ourselves, I believe. She said yes.
Okay, so that's a trade and barter system. That's what I'm advocating
for.
We need to start going away from the current system the way that it is.
I like the idea of a national sales tax if we're going to continue what we're doing. But I do like the idea of people that work in a company having control of the company. Yes, there's going to have to be a certain, you're going to have to make sure you've got qualified people in positions. There would have to be stipulations and things that people had in line. But I don't like the idea of these corporate hierarchies that get in place and they make your decisions.
Mm-hmm. They're all monopolies at this point.
Nowhere,
Especially things like Facebook, where they're in every aspect of your life. That's a monopoly.
Nowhere Ranch says their pronoun is sir. Yes, sir. Okay, Bumble Scratch, good to see. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the prayer time. Are you want to stay up for prayer time? So I'm going to pray for everybody.
Yeah, of course.
If you're not interested in the prayer time, you're welcome to exit. This is a time I give everybody a warning. So our atheistic friends, our pagan friends, people that do not believe in Christian prayer, because I am praying in the name of Jesus, you are welcome to leave.
We accept all of you, but we're going to pray.
Yeah, we're going to pray.
Our faith right
that's the one thing I don't budge on. I'm a Christian believer. I pray in the name of Jesus.
Me too.
I'm not trying to offend you, but if you are offended in the process, you chose to stay. So I love y'all. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you, Lord Jesus, that you just let us have this good time. We thank you that you've helped with fundraising for Danny and myself during this live today. We thank you, Lord God, for all that you do with helping get this message out, the people that help us get this message out, the content creators that join us here. We thank you, Lord, for what you do to help them get their content out. We pray that you just begin to grow their content and grow their accounts and help them get that information out there. We thank you, Lord, for the coming together and sharing of ideas to help each other be self-reliant in the way you meant it to be, I believe, Lord Heavenly Father. That government by the people, Lord God, that the people being able to take care of themselves. And I pray, God, that you just anoint everybody that gets involved in this. Anoint me to do this the way you want it to be done, not how I want it or anybody else wants it, or affiliates or sponsors want it, God. And I pray you just help Danny with the same thing. And I pray, God, you just continue to work, continue to move, Lord God, in what's happening right now. Help the multicast get out. Help people to share it. Help people to get involved on every platform. Help us, Lord God, in this conglomeration of Prep Talk and Clapper Prep Talk, or Clapper, whatever you want to call it. Prep YouTube, Self-Reliance YouTube, help us to come together and get the information out there. If we're wrong, bring those along that wisely correct us and get information out, and help those that may be wrong, Lord, that come along to be willing to take corrective criticism, Lord God. And we just thank you, Lord, for all you do and all you're going to do. In Jesus' name we pray. And they all said amen. Thank you all that have come in. So this is,
thank you guys.
This is the time I do the shameless spills, the advertisement. So ready-wise, you see the containers in the back. You may be a hiker, you may be a camper, you may be watching on recap. You take your family camping frequently. You're tired of the mess. You want something easy. You can boil water, dump it in the bags, eat out of the bags. All you're going to need is a spork or a spoon or a fork, and you're able to eat. E29 TEN is the discount code to save you 10%, and we get a percentage of that to help fund what we do on here. If you want it, go get it. It's good stuff. I like it. Follow the instructions when you fix it. Make sure the kids are not just chunking crap on top of your pot with a lid on it, because some of that stuff will still get in there, and you're going to be eating some wood chips like we were the other night. So thank y'all. Just pray for us down here in Alabama. Also, O-Light, one of our sponsors. You have seen the O-Lantern going in the background, and beside it is the O-Light baton. This is the O-Pen. The O5T-EOS, the I5T-EOS is now rechargeable. You can go to olight.com. Again, readywise.com is where you go to use that E2910 code. olight.com to use the discount code DB29 to save 10% anytime. And then when you go through their flash sales, I don't make nothing but you save even more. I'll try my best to tell you about them. They had one last night for Valentine's Day. You may be able to catch that. You'll save up to 40%. Again, we don't make nothing off that, but that is a service reminder. So there you go. You can go to the website, s29cast.com. Just tapping the banner helps us. If there's trusted gear on those sites, you can order. Again, I can't testify to the shipping because all that's messed up right now. And my friend Danny, go check her website out. The link is in the little three, what do they call it? The navigation, the 3 lines navigation.
Yeah.
Tap
My
it.
link is in the bio, but it's www.victorygardensrevival.com. Hashtag grow food now all over the internet.
So Edge29chaos.com, Victory Gardens Revival. What'd you say all that? I can't remember it all. What's your
Grow
name?
food now?
The Victory Garden website.
Victory Gardens. Yeah, www.victorygardensrevival.com.
All right, there you go.
Go into the farmer section, guys. Go into the support the farmer section and find your local farms. CSA lookup. If you're looking for land, I have a link for you guys to find new land there. All kinds of stuff. Check it out.
All right, so go check them out. Let's get this self-reliance movement in full swing. We thank you for coming into the multicast. Danny, we thank you for coming in. We thank y'all for all you've done during this multicast. We welcome y'all to come back to the next one. It'll be a few days. I'm fixing to work a 4-day stretch. We'll be doing devotions this Sunday. So y'all take it easy. Goodbye. All right, so we ended the TikTok live. We'd like to thank everybody that came in on Clapper and participated. I know I try to do my best to get involved and talk to everybody that comes in. We thank y'all for the 30 diamonds we have up there and the likes and the comments and helping get this shared out. We thank all of you for coming in. Again, thank y'all for all y'all have helped us do and how y'all, so I'm looking Amish. You know, I ain't had this, no, I've never had a mustache, and everybody keeps saying that. I've had these people ask me if I'm Muslim because they don't grow mustache. I just don't like no mustache. I've kept it shaved off good. But we thank y'all that have come in here and that have supported us this last year and 4 months. I think we've been on Clapper. Thank y'all for helping me realize I can get on here and do something and people might listen a little bit. The movement's growing. Edge29 Chaos Preparedness, Edge29chaos.com. Go check it out. Tapping the banner. Just tapping the banner is going to help us fund what we do here. And you're going to find gear that we trust. Again, shipping issues. They are what they are right now. Some things might not reach for months, but still, they've got a lot of the gear you see in our videos. And ReadyWise.com, E29, TEN is the discount code. Wholelight.com, discount code DB29, and you can get some good lights. And right now, you're going to probably get a good discount on their flash sale. But use that discount code still because that helps them realize, hey, folks, you're listening to Dennis Bunch. So we'll see y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. And Haps, thank y'all that we got 3 I know that's come through Haps. I'll be checking back on the YouTube. I'll be sharing it to our Instagram and Facebook. It's live there too. So we thank y'all that have come in. We are glad you came in. Thank you for coming in. Share this out if you're watching through Twitter. Thank you for coming in and watching. Share this out. Help us get that Twitter account grown. Right now, I just started it. I don't even know how many people are following me. I may have followers, I may not, but we thank y'all for coming in. Thanks for joining the Chaos Cast 29.